Okay, welcome. I'd like to call the Selectmen's meeting Tuesday, December 2nd, 2024 to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda is public input. And I don't see anybody from the public provide input. Approval of the minutes is next. We don't have any minutes ready this week. We're going to take care of minutes at the next Selectmen's meeting. And the first appointment being code officer. I think it'll be a little okay. All right. Dennis, come on up. Parks and Rec.
Excuse me. First, I just need to thank my commission for filling in on my absence for a couple of months on a lot of the events, so they did a nice job, and I appreciate what they've done. Just
Glad you're doing all right.
Yeah, no, just everything's good. You just get a little more range of motion, so I can hit my driver another 50 yards.
Good to see you back at the table.
Yeah, thanks. Good to be here, believe me.
If that turns out to be true, you let me know, okay?
I will. But I was getting sick of my house and my dog. Anyway, first event is coming up on the 15th. It's a tree lighting. We're trying to do it as Zach Tuff's idea. It's a tree lighting. Actually, the tree was put up today over at Central Park. Different ones.
Nice.
Spiderweb helped us out with that.
Nice.
Guy donated all the, that's the fly that's going to schools and stuff. Donated all the money for the decorations and stuff. So now we're trying to get the school involved with Christmas carols and stuff like that. There'll be hot chocolate that day, Santa. It'll be a quick event, an hour and a half. And just to light the tree and get people together. So that's the first holiday event. The second one is pretty popular. It's been popular the last few years. Just photos with Santa. It's decorate your bulbs for Christmas and cookie decorating and coloring contests, and Santa's there. So that'll be at the townhouse. So those are the two big holiday events coming up. I just turned in a final report for this year's Lake Coast, all the different, inspections we had throughout the year and stuff, so.
They doing a good job for us?
Yeah, I'm glad it's back, I really am, As far as the Central School gym events, they start in January. First two will be the kids dodgeball on Tuesday and the adult dodgeball, which we tried last year, and we had over 40 people playing, so it's...
What day is that one on?
That's Thursday nights, and I go home Thursday night with a big smile on my face. My wife would go, "Why are you so happy?" I'm saying, there's a bunch of guys, 30, 40, that just, well, girls too, are just having a ball, reliving their childhoods. Yeah, that was nice. So if you want to get into the budget stuff, I actually worked on it at home a little bit. To be honest with you, my 6th year here, some of the line items don't really say what it really is. So for my own being, and it's probably not on your sheet, I changed what I thought it really should be for. I think it was you at a meeting, maybe a couple of years ago, you said, "What's the line item for recreation?" And I said, "I don't know." I said, "It could be paying for a fence repair, it could be paying for a hot dog at the kids' picnic or something." So it was kind of widespread. But basically, if you were going through it, the first item is the salary of myself with the 3% raise that's gone up. The second is assistant director, and I know we had issues down at the beach this year. I think we had 3 major issues with no one being there. I actually saw the Selectman meetings where the 2 gentlemen showed up, and of course they showed me all the pictures and everything. And it seems like we had 3 events And like I told you guys before, it's open season. They can do what they want down there if no one's there, so. I was looking to put a beach monitor in there in place of the assistant director money. And basically it would be, 50 days, 5 hours a day, $20 an hour, so it'd be $5,000. But like Wednesday, we have cornhole, so I'm there from 3 to whatever, 8. Thursday, we have the concert, so I'm there basically 3 to 9. So those 2 days are pretty much covered. It would be the other days. Maybe we wouldn't go Monday or Tuesday, but those 5 hours a day would fill in the other days, and we'd have someone there in charge, checking coolers, making sure there's no dogs, making sure they're smoking in the right area. So that's a new item, and certainly, I don't know, you'd have to approve on that.
Well, you have a support staff line.
Well, the support
That's what you're looking for. The
support staff basically is the kid that cleans the beach in the morning.
That's how you treat it. But if you want to add people to that support staff, that's where the money, we're not going to add another line.
So it would be under there?
Yeah.
You'd combine those
So
two?
what do you think that expense is going to entail?
Okay. I'm just trying to, I'm not that smart a man. I'm just trying to get whatever line item meets for me.
So are you gonna, you're gonna have an assistant director this year?
No.
Okay. I actually agree with Chip, it is kind of support staff versus assistant
Okay,
director.
so those two items would be combined?
We'll just move, yeah.
Well, you don't have anything spent on the support staff this year so far.
Yeah.
Did it get mislabeled or?
So you want to move the assistant director?
Yeah,
Yeah, leave $1 in that line to keep it open, and then,
okay.
and put the money for the beach monitor and the
Yeah.
support staff, make that 6280 rather than 1280. I mean, it's still there.
Right, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Water safety instructor is, I changed it to swim instructor, that's basically what it is. Our controversial youth
Okay,
assistant, town of
so
Wolfboro.
let's slow it down here a little bit. Water safety instructors, you got $3,500 on that line this year.
Yeah,
You spent $3,380.
yeah.
So how do you expect you're gonna drop it to $3,000? You're not gonna spend as much.
Well,
on-
again, I think our issue, we didn't have a great swim instructor program this year, and I think the numbers went down, so I think we're just gonna.
They didn't.
I think we're just gonna limit it. to
The number's $3,380. That's what you spent.
He means the number of participants in the program.
I'm only looking at the money.
Yeah,
So what are you saying, that we're not gonna do as much as we did this year? And you
Correct.
said this year was a bad year.
yeah, I'm saying we're limiting the amount of students, so it'd be less money, so it'd be $3,000,
So there'll actually be fewer hours worked, is what you're saying?
yeah,
Okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Moving on.
Yeah, the two Wolfboro items, youth assistants and town of Wolfboro, I mean, you know how I feel about those two, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring up the subject. Last year, we had toyed with the idea of taking that 16,000, whatever it is, total, add up those two numbers, whatever the total is,
Yeah,
and turning it into a warrant article versus operating budget.
okay, yeah, I remember you saying that, yeah,
Let the people decide if this is something that they want to continue with,
yeah,
rather than the selectmen
yeah,
reaching into their pockets and pulling the money out.
yeah.
Do we want to continue status quo, or do we want to?
Well, I
Change
think
it
if it
up.
gets into a warrant article situation, it's gonna end up going back up to 16,000. And we calculated what the actual usage was somewhere around 8,100. So if we're gonna put a warrant article in for 16,000, then there'll be buy-in from all the parties. I mean, I don't, and as I mentioned at some juncture, once it becomes a warrant article, if they send the bill, we gotta pay it. We don't get to decide not to pay it.
But am I wrong in saying that they had given us a bill, let's just say it was 10 grand or 12 grand, we still paid the 16?
No. We pay what the bill is,
We did.
and then the
Okay.
balance goes
Yeah,
into.
what did we pay this year?
We paid 16 because We didn't get a bill that breaks it up.
Or
that
last
way.
year, I should
We
say.
haven't made that agreement.
Yeah.
We paid 16 every year.
But we haven't paid it this year,
We did, we just paid it.
even though we haven't got a bill.
Yeah, we paid it against the bill.
Okay, and the bill was for 1661? Or
It's been
661?
flat for many, many, many,
So-
many, many years.
Is,
But I don't remember seeing the bill.
I don't either.
Was
We must
it
have signed
in
the
this
check.
week, the one, did you come in this weekend?
I
I
did,
think it was. this
and I
week.
didn't, no, we didn't have any payables. It was
no, it
just
was two, it
payroll.
was 2 weeks,
Oh,
it
no,
was
it was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. I do remember seeing the check, I don't remember the bill, but I wasn't paying that close attention, I might have missed it.
Right.
I mean, the bill normally comes in this time of year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So,
The point being is, they send us the bill for 16,000, so whatever the amount is, and we've been paying.
661.
yeah. And we don't have a new agreement with them. I intended to
Mhm.
last year, but
Mhm.
I didn't get to it.
so,
So do we wanna do status quo? Keep paying them 16,000?
Or work on a new agreement,
Or work on a new agreement?
right? I mean, I think we still have to budget. But I don't,
I mean, I
No,
think
we have
last
to
year we
spend
took
it.
money out of youth assistance to send the kids to punt, pass, and kick.
yeah,
Right.
all you spent, if you wanna talk youth assistance, all you spent last year was $1,500.
Yeah, 3 families, $500 each, right?
So, does that still need to be at, and I'm sorry to get off at 10 Wolfboro, but does that still need to be at $8,400?
Well, we took the 16,000, whatever that total was, and we split it.
Oh, between youth
We split
assistance?
it, yeah.
That's right, I remember that now, right.
So the money was still there, it's needed.
so, you mentioned making it a warrant article, can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Basically, taking the decision of paying the town of Wolfboro $16,000 for a discount. They give us.
Yeah.
They give us the
Yep.
Wolfboro rate,
Yep,
but we pay 16,000 and change
right,
for that discount.
right, and so we're,
But it's the three of us that are making that decision.
correct,
Do we want to continue making that decision? Or do we want to come up with a new agreement and let the voters decide whether they want to continue that agreement? I feel that we're reaching into the taxpayer's pocket and taking $16,000 for a discount that not everybody may be in favor of.
mhm,
You know,
Well,
typically-
I would go along with your position as an affirmation vote. I don't think I'm going along with it if your intention is that every single year we're gonna have a warrant article asking the voters if we wanna pay Wolfboro. So if you wanna treat it as an affirmation vote, in other words, put it on the warrant, let the town vote on it. If they vote yes, then we'll continue working on this problem. If they vote no, then we won't have to work on it anymore. But I'm not, I don't think it's a good idea to say, okay, we're gonna just add another 16,000 or whatever it is to our warrant every year to pay Wolfboro. I guess I'm not in favor of that.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm just bring the discussion forward because I think it needs to be had.
yeah. We can, I mean,
The mechanics of it, I like that idea. It's just asking the people if they want to do it. Maybe we budget for it this year, leave the budget amount alone in the operating budget. And just what you suggest, ask the voter if they want to continue doing that next year.
right.
See, my issue is,
But a non-monetary.
let's pay what
warrant
we
article?
actually owe.
A non-monetary warrant
If the
article.
kid's getting a $50 ski discount and it adds up at the end of the year to be 9,000, let's pay the 9,000.
Okay.
So why is it 16?
Right,
That's
Okay,
my issue.
that's,
I don't mind paying, but let's pay what we owe.
exactly, not an arbitrary amount.
well, everything.
And I think that $16,000 is arbitrary.
Yeah, I think
Nobody knows where it came from.
I'll agree with it going back before that little interchange. I think that's not a bad idea. It would have 3 steps. We'd leave it alone for this year.
Mhm.
We'd have Audrey solidify some kind of an agreement that is actual facts and ask in a in a non-monetary warrant article if the town wants to continue to do it.
So is it, would we then have to have that agreement by the time that the warrant was voted on?
No.
No?
No, but it would have to be pretty quick. I mean, the winter will be almost over at that point.
Right, but I guess my point is that the closer we are to an agreement, the easier it is when it comes time for the town meeting to actually explain the real,
Oh, yeah, I don't know that we're gonna
rather
do that. I
rather
mean,
than just the idea. That's
Yeah,
my
well, I
looked at it
think we
for-
need a new agreement no matter what we do.
Agreed. Agreed.
But I don't think it's imperative to have it before town meeting. I mean, let's say the voters vote, no, we don't wanna do this anymore.
And smooth.
Then we're still in the process of paying Wolfboro, but we're paying them for 3 months as opposed to paying them for 12 months.
Right.
Okay.
So,
We can, I mean, I'm okay with moving forward with that.
okay.
All right.
All right, so we're gonna still split it though, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea because
Okay.
no matter how it works out, we can still use the money from either line to pay the bill at the end of the year.
Well, I got a request, well, probably 2-3 weeks ago from the school that some of the kids, they started ice skating and skiing, and there's some kids can't afford the money, and she asked me, and I says I'd have to bring it up.
Mhm.
That's a
Right.
youth assistance thing. Now, last year we gave out 1,500 to kids to go to, where'd they go to? Las Vegas for punt, pass, and kick. So, I mean, I'm bringing it up to you guys too, you know, on this year's budget.
Well, we've done that in years past. Made that offer to the school on ski rental and
Yeah,
that sort of thing. And part of it, my recollection is part of it came out of your operating budget, and part of it came out of your revolving fund. So I don't see that we have to muddle, and we need to get this done tonight, so I don't think we need to muddle around with that.
yeah.
But I mean, it may be what we end up having going forward. If the voters vote no, then we could institute
Our own, we'd have better control over the money.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have
Right.
much better
But-
accounting.
they'd have to pay and then come back and get reimbursed.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that
Yes.
hasn't been a real workable solution in the past, but it might work. I don't know. No,
Okay.
but, so that's a separate subject from your budget.
Correct, we don't need to vote on anything like that right now.
No,
We're
I
just
just,
working on the budget.
right,
I think we're all in agreement that we need to,
support skiers.
So could I go ahead with the,
Yeah, just what have you got in your revolving account right now? Any idea?
and the revolving, yeah, I don't have it with me, it's up there. I was gonna bring that up on another subject.
Yeah,
There's plenty in the revolving, yes.
yeah, so, and there's plenty left
So
in your.
that's the way I should go?
There's
through the-
plenty left in your budget as well, so just
Yeah.
come up with a number and we'll talk about
Okay,
it.
all right. Lifeguards equipment, $500, that seems like it's the same. The beeping, Artie, I don't know if you got a bill, any improvement on the toilets, on the portalets? So last year she sent us a
$3,320 is what you've spent.
So we basically kept it the same
Okay,
as last year on the
Mhm.
portalets, yeah. Old home days need some help, and there's a few ideas I got. I'm not gonna take your time now, but
well, this is the time to do it. You spent $2,160 last year,
yeah,
and your intention is to spend more this coming year?
yes.
on what? Advertising?
No, I'm looking to do a 2-day event, it's a continual event involving the whole community at Davis Field, to the point of even getting a Ferris wheel and a stage, a farm zoo, all different groups. One day would be a chicken barbecue, another day would be food trucks, so it'd be a 2-day event, actually Labor Day, Sunday and Monday. It's just like we're pulling teeth. I mean, I wasn't at the town picnic because of my accident, but we were giving out 100 T-shirts, and there was, I don't know, you were there, there was probably only 50, it was poor attendance.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the events were poor, so I think it needs to change, and to do that, I need more money.
Just a humble opinion, I think advertising has a lot to do with that.
Yeah, oh, sure,
We gotta get the word out there better.
That was, yeah, no, that was the number one
yeah.
that we heard from people.
Okay, so are we staying at $5,000, Mr. Chairman?
If Dennis is defending the $5,000, that he's gonna have
Yeah.
a bigger, better program,
Okay,
and then that's what it's gonna cost, yeah.
We're also dropping on the recreation areas by quite a bit.
well, I had a
Well,
question about
You
that.
see the one-day specials, that's gone up, so. All right, so next to the concerts, it's the, you
Right.
know, the promotion of that, that's 1,500, that stays the same,
Okay, you only spent $544 of that last year.
yeah.
The reason was because he got so many sponsors.
So, I mean, is $1,000 a good number? Is 1,500 the only number you
You can
can?
get away with 1,000, yeah. You wanna drop that to 1,000?
Well, you had $1,960 in '23, and it dropped down to $544 in
Yeah.
'24. What was the change?
It's the same banners, I get 3 major banners, you know, with the sponsors and then the 2, list of, groups, concert groups.
Did you spend any money out of your revolving fund for your banners?
No,
It all came out of your,
right.
your
So you
operating budget?
reused banners that you got in '23, is that what you're saying?
We reuse them?
Yeah,
No.
no? I don't know.
So if you're suggesting we drop it
To
from 15 to
1,000.
1,000?
I mean, I don't care if it's at 1,500, as
fine.
long
I
as
mean,
we
it's-
spend the money wisely. I mean,
I mean,
Try not to over budget.
yeah, okay,
Can you work with 1,000?
yeah, yeah.
okay, so that's 1,000.
So the biggest item where we went over, I think, was based on the dock maintenance and everything else, and a lot of
Well,
that
let's not
was.
skip over recreational
I'm
areas.
just, that's the next item, is recreation areas.
Right,
And that's gone from, I think, 5 or whatever it was to 1,000.
6,000 to 1,000.
but you
Simply
spent,
because,
but you spent 3,178 this year.
yeah, and a lot of that was having people move benches from this event to there, to there, to there. So
And that's not gonna happen.
the recreation areas, I think I put in my own mind, just for them to move the benches, $1,000. And the one thing I've been telling you year after year, you go into those one-day events, they cost money. I mean, we had almost 4,000 Easter eggs. That costs a lot of money. You know, whether it's Halloween, community awards, Thanksgiving, summer kickoff, those are all one-day events. And that's why I put in $3,000 at the bottom of your page for these one-day events, rather than going to the revolving fund. Make it a budget item, so we know what we're doing.
Okay, but let's not put in, it's not supplies. Okay, that's the last line. That $3,000 for supplies when you spent $36 this year doesn't match. So if you want to put $3,000 in recreational areas,
Okay,
that's where the money is spent, because you spent $3,000 this year. And get rid of the $3,000 on supplies. And put
Still need
$100 there.
supplies. Move 2,500 up to recreation areas.
No, I'd say move the whole through. I mean, we
$3,000.
took $500 out of banners and concerts. Let's just put $100 on supplies. He spent $36 this year, and put $3,000 on recreational areas because he spent $3,178.
So you want to go to recreational areas to a total of 4,000, or leave it at 3,000? It's 1,000 right now.
Okay, let's make it 4,000. I'm sorry. Thank you, David.
And then, you want to put
100 for the
in
supplies.
Right. Trash, we've got 0 spent this year. Who's picking up the
he
trash?
hasn't sent the bill yet. He normally sends
He needs
the
to.
bill.
He needs to get it into the budget
Yeah.
for.
Yeah. How's that work?
And, you know, I do have $2,800 to spend before the end of the year. One of the items that is an issue, especially at 19 Mile Bay, is the trash. So I want to go from you know, 2 barrels. You look at those metal barrels, they're not cheap.
No,
They're like $500, so I'm gonna increase him to 1,000 to 1,400. So now he's collecting double than he used to.
yeah, I did notice that a couple times this
Yeah,
summer, that
yeah.
they were full,
Yeah,
more than they should have been.
exactly.
Okay, dock and beach maintenance is the next
Yeah.
controversial line.
So if we're taking 1,000 from where I said recreation areas, which was gonna be used for benches, we should take that 1,000 and move it back to dock and maintenance, because,
No, you spent $6,686
Right.
on beach and dock maintenance.
yeah, and again, that was moving benches from here to there to there, for different events, so that's why it's over. And I think this year too, rather than have a $20,000, $30,000 bill for new docks and stuff, because we've been just putting Band-Aids on it for the last 2-3
But
years.
that's a warrant issue, that's not
I
a
know, but my
operating
point
budget.
is, and I told Zach this, I says, rather than have the 2 docks with the swim lines, let's just put all the stuff together and have one nice raft out there for now. So that's why I cut that down. I can't tell you the issues we had with that raft. It's just, you know, kids get on it, they jump, the thing bends, I call Zach, he comes down, he fixes it. And you buy the parts, like I told you, one part was $600 for like a clamp.
Yeah, you found it for $30 at a
Yeah,
hardware store.
so
right?
I think basically we just have the one raft out there this year, and that's why I put it at $3,000. But I'd like to take that other grand and move that down there, because he's gotta get paid for moving all the benches too, so.
You already got that, you have $4,000 in rec area.
In recreation
Oh,
areas.
okay, so that's $4,000.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
It's full.
All right,
Alright.
but, so you spent $3,686 that you're never gonna spend again on
Correct.
docks and,
Yeah,
what do you spend $3,600 on? Did you build a new dock, or,
like I said, the parts are ridiculously expensive.
but you spent that already?
Yeah,
Okay, to
this past
fix it.
summer, yeah.
Okay, and you're not gonna have to do that next
No,
year?
because we're gonna just take all the stuff and make one dock, one
Okay.
raft, instead of having swim lines and, it's just, you know, hopefully we can get away with it, but I think down the road, we've gotta look at a warrant article
I don't
to,
wanna extend this conversation any much longer, but I do gotta ask, are those swim lines, is that part of the swim program?
No.
Or are they just
well,
there
they do,
for,
but.
or are they just there for people to use?
People use them, they do swim. I think the initial thing was the swim team, which they had years ago.
Yeah,
In fact, the Wolfboro had called and asked us to combine swim teams, because we had the lanes, and they only had 3 kids signed up, and so they didn't have,
so you're gonna do away with one of the docks and you're gonna do away with the lanes
yeah.
and just have one platform out
Yeah.
there?
For
And that's
the-
not gonna affect any of your construction?
No.
Okay.
All right, so what else we on?
Membership dues and fees.
Yeah, same. It's just the state association we belong to. That's it.
Okay, I'm
Should we do the
100.
math?
Yeah, 73,460.
So I went down, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
$1,500, $1,300.
Yeah.
all right, I'll make a motion that we approve Parks and Rec budget 4520 for $73,460.
I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All set?
Good.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Anything
Thanks,
else you
Dennis.
need
Thank you, guys.
to- Anything else you need to discuss with us?
It was just one item, like we had that community garden cookouts, the 3rd year we had it, and people approached me about trying to name that community garden after Bill Stockman. And I said, I'd bring it up to you guys, and if we do it, you know, we'd have a nice spring opening day type thing, but that's, to me, I think he's done an awful lot. I don't know as much as the people that have been here all their lives, but it sounded like that might be a good idea to do that.
Susie Weeks in charge of that, in charge of the garden?
Yeah.
I mean, they all approached me at that community garden cookout we had, and I said I'd bring it up.
The renters.
Yeah,
Have a discussion.
Gardeners.
The what?
The gardeners.
The gardeners, okay. Well, they rent spots, come on.
The serfs.
No, I think it's a great idea, but have a discussion with Suzie Weeks.
okay.
And
Yeah.
if you guys are both in agreement, just bring it forward.
Yeah. A
Sounds
couple
like a
other
good
quick
idea.
things, just two seconds. March, we're gonna have Thursday night concerts at the townhouse. Last year, or 2 years ago, we tried to charge $5. It'll be free, because we get extra money in the revolving. Just to get them out Thursday night for 2 hours. It won't be big bands, it'll be like one person singing, that type of thing.
Taking donations.
Yeah, we could, yeah. The other thing we're doing is, we did bingo at some of the concerts this year. We're doing yard sale bingo. So you gotta bring a yard sale item. And if you win a game, you get to pick a yard sale item. That's what it is.
That legal?
Thank you, Dennis.
Thank you, Jack. Yeah, yeah, sorry I took your time.
Okay.
Jack.
157 building permits, 45 new houses, I've done 45 certificate of occupancies, I've done 806 inspections, and the ice eaters for the docks are all in. So. Their legs are starting to freeze.
Bring it on. It's winter.
And I have 4 inquiries on the police facility that I haven't got them information yet, because I just got the new stuff from Phil today.
Okay, how much time do we?
So it's supposed to be in by the 13th, so I think we have to push that date out, and Phil thinks that as well, 3 to 4 weeks, so.
If we, so are you saying, am I understanding you correctly that if we push it out, we could have as many as 3 to 4 bids?
Yeah. No one's gonna bid on it and be in by the 13th of December. It's not gonna happen.
All right, well,
If it's progress, I'm
yeah.
all for it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'll just have to make a notation when I send out the information, because
13th.
the information has that original date on it.
So if we push it out 1, 2, 3, 4, is January 10th. Why don't we push it out to the 17th? That's 5 weeks.
Good.
And that's the middle of the month.
If we push it out till the 10th, you have a meeting on the 13th.
I'm
If you
going
push it out
to
to
the
the
12th.
17th, you don't meet till the 27th.
And let's push it out to the 24th then.
And have it due the 27th.
Yep.
24th of January, okay.
You guys okay with that?
Yep.
If it's forward progress, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Then I can-
That all has to be advertised,
Yeah.
including any direct solicits that we've sent to.
Well, it'll be in the package that they come to get, so the direct solicits will be, they'll get it in the package, there'll be a notation that says the bids have to be in by January 24th.
Even if they haven't, if we've direct solicited anybody,
I don't know what the original RFP said, because I never saw it, so.
I think it said the 13th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they all need,
Yeah.
Another
It's the
a
8
notification.
people you gave me, Jack. They all
Yeah.
got it.
So we want to re-notify them so that the date's been extended in the event that
Yep.
they might want to
That may-
participate.
that
It
may
may
be-
change their mind.
That's right.
Gotcha.
And
Makes
you
perfect
wanted
sense.
to include,
Paid stockman.
Okay. I'll make a motion to extend the police RFP response deadline to January 24th, 2025.
I'll second that motion.
All right, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
Budget. Municipal buildings. You
Okay.
doing that?
Part of
No,
it,
he
not
only-
all of it, some of it.
he only gave me some. Yeah.
I don't do it all. I don't know what half the bills go.
Okay.
Okay, well,
So town,
I've got a few questions on this.
So do
Go
I.
ahead.
townhouse maintenance. is that where the roof project's going?
I don't know where you wanna put that, whether it's under improvements or maintenance, I don't know.
That was my first question, townhouse maintenance, one for 800.
So we've got, just so we know, on this perspective budget, we've got 12 grand on townhouse maintenance and 15,000 on townhouse improvements.
Oh, I think I might put it in both of them.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like
That
the
explains
money.
it. I was wondering the same thing.
So, are we gonna put it in improvements? And how much is, do you remember?
It's 11,
It's 11,000.
that's the quote I got, and that's the
Okay.
going rate of roofing.
So if we make townhouse improvements $12,000 just in case, and we take, where are we in townhouse maintenance? Townhouse maintenance, you spent $237, so if we put that down to the $800 that it was last year, you still got a $600 cushion.
So townhouse maintenance, we're gonna
Flatline.
flatline to 800.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then townhouse improvements to 12,000.
right, and that's the roof.
Yep.
And I don't, like I say, I don't know what comes out of the maintenance.
Was there any other, yeah, cause not really
It's
maintenance.
dolly cleaning mostly.
Well, that's gonna up the bottom line, unless we do 11,200, 11,200.
No, it isn't.
No, it's not.
No, it isn't.
You're just taking $11,200
You have 12 and
from
15.
townhouse.
12 and 15 is 27.
You've taken $11,200 from
Okay.
townhouse maintenance, because we left it at $800. So that $11,200, if you move that down to,
We're not moving it.
Well, in effect,
you are, down to townhouse improvements. And if you.
what is townhouse improvements on your page?
15.
15,000. It's not gonna cost us 26,000 or 27,000.
No. Nobody's letting me finish.
Okay.
You keep interrupting me before I'm done.
All right, go ahead, go ahead.
From townhouse maintenance,
Yeah,
it's got a $12,000 line. We're gonna leave that at $800.
right.
Yes.
That means you've got $11,200 to move somewhere else for the roof.
We don't need to though.
We're just taking it out.
We're just
not
taking it
moving
out.
Just taking it
was
out
already in there,
altogether,
but she put it in
because it's
both.
already in townhouse improvements. And
Right.
actually, townhouse improvements is dropping from 15 to 12.
To 12, okay, so that's the.
And townhouse improvements, we spent 0 this year.
So 11,200 plus 500 is 11,700, so we're still $300 ahead of the game, but lowered the budget by,
We lowered the
11,200.
budget,
$15,000.
but yeah, between 14 and 15.
okay.
What else do you, in this budget, what other things do you handle,
Just
Jack?
the maintenance on this building and that building.
So town
House
office.
and town office.
So the town office, where is it? Town office maintenance.
That doesn't include outside maintenance, I'm assuming, right?
Well, that's just mowing.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. You don't. That's nothing to do with you.
No.
Yeah.
That's grounds.
That's
Yeah.
grounds, yep.
Just clarifying.
That's
And
shoveling.
what's happening to gas, police, fire, and highway? There's nothing in there for gas.
They get it in their own.
Budget.
So we're
Budget.
zeroing out,
Departments,
we're
yeah.
zeroing out this
Yeah.
line?
I left a note there for Cammy saying.
So Jack, are those the only two?
We zeroed it out last year, Bob,
Okay.
because they put it in their operating budget.
Are those the only two items under your purview is
Yeah,
townhouse
there's four,
and
yeah,
town office
and town
maintenance?
office.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and so the town office maintenance went from 2,500 to 8,500.
Right.
Why?
Well, if you look at the 2023 actual, it was right up there.
Yep.
So I don't know
$7,000.
why I put it down. Maybe I didn't
So
understand what was in there. But it's dolly, it's 3 hours of cleaning at 26
Yep.
an hour plus supplies.
And then
It's not dollar
okay.
though. It's not all.
And so what have we spent this year? Trying to find it here.
So we've overspent that line by
Yeah, this year we're at
$4,500 this year.
7,016.
Oh, we spent it by 4,500
Yeah,
Because
she
I don't know
under-budgeted.
why I
because she under budgeted it down to
Yeah.
2,500. Okay. So then, is 8,500 sufficient? Too much or too little?
I felt like
Well,
I worked it.
You feel like that 8,500 is your spot? Okay.
Yeah, gives her a little room.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
And the outside maintenance, you do that?
There's a little extra money in there, cause there's some rods, so it's gotta be fixed here and there.
Okay. All right,
And what's going on at the Gould property for
Yeah.
$3,500?
right.
No idea.
I thought we were gonna burn that down as an exercise.
Maybe that's the cost of burning it down, I don't know.
No,
good
it's
to have
been
this.
mowed about 3 or 4 times, I looked up the detail.
I
on
tell you,
that.
this mowing thing is getting way out of hand. I mean, it really is, because if you look at the Davis Field mowing, where is that? Next page.
It's on the second page. 6,000. It's the 2025 number.
When it rains out in Nebraska.
Davisfield.
Okay. We spent 4,200 on Davis Field so far.
Well, he's dropped it $1,000. Or actually dropped it $1,000.
Can we keep dropping? Anyway, I think we're done with Jack, aren't we?
Yeah, I was gonna just say that.
let him
can we
go home now.
can we let Jack go?
Alright.
Thank you, Jack.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jack.
On the fire department, if you stay on that budget quickly, the fire department, those are all numbers from the chief. And then, the highway and transfer, I just increased them or kept them in line with what the spending is.
Jesus Christ. Do you plow the library?
Yes, we do.
You do? So this $4,000 is mowing?
I think so.
4,000?
Primarily mowing.
All right,
I have 5,000.
4,336.
Oh, I'm sorry on the actuals.
Yeah. So we need to have that, so come January, let's have a long discussion about things on this. For instance, auditor, we haven't put out for bid for 7 or 8 years. The assessor, we haven't put out, although I think we've got 1 more year on his contract.
And
Mowing,
Jack, thank you.
the mowing's getting way out of hand. I mean, it's a career for somebody.
So I do think somebody else shovels or snow blows around after we plow, but somebody goes in there and snow blows.
Yeah,
all the
still.
way. So
I mean,
it's probably added into that, I'm guessing.
yeah,
I don't know how much that is.
I don't either.
I would say that anyways.
I'm just, I didn't have my nap today, so I'm a little grumpy.
Oh,
Oh, I just remembered I got something to do.
And the 19 Mile Bay mowing,
mowing and electric, all in one line.
yeah, that seems a little interesting. Mowing and electric, 2,346 is what we spent this year,
So budgeted 2,500.
or 25, okay.
It's interesting.
I'm okay with the rest of it, except I don't, I'd really like to know what the Gould property $3,500 is for.
Who is our friend?
Oh,
Audrey?
she ducked out.
Oh, do you think there's some kind of mowing for that?
No,
No? I mean, they mow it.
no,
Yeah,
because
that'd be the Central
Fires.
Park,
Gould gets bush hogged 2 times a year. I don't know what that.
How big is this property?
shouldn't be $3,500.
I mean, we spent $1,600 on other property, whatever that is.
$2,700 is this year's outlay.
I mean, this appears to be a new line because it wasn't, but nothing was budgeted in 23 or 24 for this.
Right,
So
well,
this is a new expense.
they spent $2,700 on that line this year. Audrey, Gould property,
Yes,
we spent $2,700 on the Gould property this
yeah,
year.
and so it
And we
says in
didn't-
there how often they mow it. And I did look up the bills and actuals on that account.
Gould fall cleanup. I don't know, I'm gonna just burn the goddamn thing down. spring cleanups, you got $1,500 spring and fall cleanups.
I don't know it by that name. What is the Gould property?
So it's the decrepit house next to the fire station.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but
Central Park was owned by the Goulds and all the land, and then we built the fire station on that land too. So it's $3,600 to mow that place. Plus
I assume that includes.
1,500 for spring and fall cleanup, so that's $5,100.
wait, why does the Gould property have 3,500 instead of the 5,100?
That's the quote for next year he's looking at.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. We have 3,500 here as the 25 request, and you're saying that's 5,100?
Well, the mowing is 36,
Okay.
and then you got 6 for spring cleanup, so that's 42, and then you got 900 for fall cleanup. That's 51. That's what I come up with.
So I guess my question is, why is, if that's 51, why is this only 3,500 as a budget request? That's my own question.
Yeah.
I think when I put the budget together, I did it based on actuals, and then after we had the conversation last Monday for, if I should pay for all the True Green treatments,
Mm-hmm.
we had a mowing discussion. I went out and Matt asked Mr. Hunter for a quote, and so I got that. I don't know if a new invoice is gonna appear, or if we wanna,
Is that Steve?
No.
Corey.
Corey Hunter.
Corey.
So, yeah, we might wanna move up Gould, but you could put this budget to one side if you want to take care of one of these gentlemen.
I'm not prepared to vote on this without having a better explanation of the rules.
Okay.
I'm fine. I'm fine with that.
You guys same?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fine. Is this my copy, Audrey? Or is this your copy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
And where are we next?
Transfer station.
Solid waste.
Sure.
Oh, yes.
Told me that I was written. Supervisors, overall income, specific outlined income we got from some of the things that we broken through in our RA and in the last pages. Total year-to-date tonnages of shipments.
That's the thickest paper in the world.
I can answer any questions you have, but if you don't want to spend time on that, we can address that next meeting.
Okay.
Just want you to have it.
So is this NRRA number calculated in with,
Yes, you can see on the bottom. these
oh, outside
collected.
income, got it.
The only thing I don't have right now is how many stickers, for the town hall sold, which would go into that figure. But we're on
Okay.
pace for probably 122,000, which should go back into the general fund.
When, looking at the fees charged and everything,
Yeah.
is it safe to assume that that's an in and out charge, meaning that if an appliance with Freon costs $25 to us,
Yeah,
that's what we collect? Is that
correct.
okay?
Yeah, and on the left is customers, 132 customers brought, refrigerator, humidifier, and we got $865.
Right. So that's what all I'm saying is with all of these and kind of the C&D, probably C&D and brush maybe aside,
Yeah,
when we charge a fee, it goes right back out when we pay it for.
For most things, yes. I have a vendor who does freon and propane recovery, so we trade off, and it doesn't cost us anything, but we still charge in case down the road it does cost us.
Okay.
Because we've gotten into a situation before where the guy that does it for free once in a while doesn't show up, and we end up having 50.
Pay the backup.
Yeah, so we
Gotcha.
pay the backup. But
How are we doing on waste oil?
still, status quo, we're about 3/4 full.
Are we,
And they-
are we losing money?
No, it's neutral. I mean, this year, we haven't pumped that tank in 18 months. So we've collected $295. So when it's time to pump it, it will look like we're in the red this year if it costs $1,500. But in the past 18 months, we've cut.
But last year you didn't pump it,
Correct.
so you didn't spend any money.
Right.
And do you know how much money you collected on it last year?
I don't have it right here with me, but I can tell you. I don't have money. We just look real quick.
It'd be a good number to know, just to make sure that we're not losing money on the pumping. You don't have to do it right now.
I don't,
And then with regard to brush and C&D, which I know is a much, much harder target, so to speak. What's your feeling on that with regard to what we're collecting versus what we're paying out?
Well, I think that over the past couple of years, we've fine-tuned the C&D as best we can. You know,
Yeah, without
what
a,
we're working with.
yeah,
But brush, we've collected 5,400, and it's costing 10,000 or 8,000 to grind it. So we're still behind 8 ball there. I need to fine-tune that. But I think mostly that is 2 years ago we set the pricing on pickup truck was $5, trailers $40. And I think that we've been open to interpretation a little bit on trailers. Somebody comes in with a trailer like yours, keep that $40. Somebody comes in with a trailer like yours with half a dozen sticks on it. Somebody charges me $10. So we need to kind of fine tune that a little bit, but
what happens to the, let's say, after they come and grind it, does it stay on the property?
yes.
Yeah,
It's pushed down into the,
yeah,
We use it for
down in the hole.
basically filling in any
right.
cracks in the ground, and then we use it as a base to start over. I mean, until it composts, until those grindings really compost, it's not something that we can.
No, I was just curious. I didn't know what happened to it when it was done.
And that's why we don't burn gas piles, because we could potentially create a ground fire.
Well, we don't burn it because it's the New Hampshire EPA banned that probably 10 years
They
ago.
don't allow us to burn brush.
It's too much pollution.
So you can on your own property,
Yeah.
but you can't from the perspective of.
Commercial burning is a big deal. You have to get DES permission after
The Pope needs to get involved. I get it. Yeah.
It's a big deal. So they basically say no more, burning.
It's too bad.
I think that if the pile gets hit by lightning,
So if we install a lightning rod, maybe.
Adam would probably sit there with a fire truck and let it burn. But
Just kidding.
I'd be afraid of starting an underground fire.
For the record, I was just kidding.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's something that
Yeah.
Okay. Should we start with the problem children here?
Roger, do you wanna talk about this at all?
Chris hasn't seen it at all. I would like you primarily to make sure you go through his budget first.
Okay.
Since you met with him just last week about it, and Chris and I met, either Tuesday or Wednesday, and we updated the, recycling attendant and assistant to, reflect a partial year step increase if they, warrant it. So if the employees meet his expectations, he'll have the budget to.
6 months?
Yeah, overall, your wages have gone up 5.1%. So there must have been, everybody got a step, is that what happened?
Or half a step if,
No, half,
Half a step,
if they perform.
but it's in here.
Yeah.
Okay. And on your C and D and your MSW, you're increasing by 4.75% across the board. Is that based on the waste management?
well, that was, the only increase I should have there is the contract increase.
Okay,
Because nothing else goes, nothing else fluctuates.
because right now, we're on waste. MSW, you're at 117,000, and waste, or CD, you're up 89,000.
Yeah, so MSW will probably have this month's
Yeah,
billing, probably 20,000, if I had to guess, and C&D is probably at about 30.
all right. And tires and Freon,
Yeah. The tires, we haven't, we only had two shipments this year. I've got one going out hopefully this week. I think we based the budget last year on 4.
well, you've only spent $18 so far this year.
Yeah, it's trying to be, it should have 2 bills, well, excuse me, should be 1 bill for $12.75 for one shipment that was in April, and then I've got another shipment going out either this coming week or the week after, which will be another $12.75.
And that will get spent in this year's budget?
Correct.
Okay.
But we are down.
Yeah, but the one in April, you said we already paid $12.75 in April?
Should
So
be.
that, it didn't make this line then, where did it,
It must, we'll have
it
to,
landed somewhere?
we'll have to fuss around with that and find out where it went.
Okay.
The only other line that is, you know, a little goofy is the electronics line. And that's because we're in a contract with that company to send out 4 shipments. And past couple of years we've been averaging 2 to 3. So, but we still have to pay for that 4th shipment, whether we send it or not.
Oh,
So, I think it's kind of weird request.
Renegotiate?
Yeah. Because what we had originally negotiated was when everybody had these big TVs with the LED, you know, screens, and now
lot of
it's
people don't
flat
have it
screens.
anymore.
You know, we get flat screens, we get modems.
Okay.
Yep.
So,
Okay. So
So we
You're-
made all the changes that you asked for last week. So some of these numbers you're seeing are the selectmen's updated numbers.
okay, the NRRA dues,
yep,
we spent $5,269. And we're going from, I mean, where'd the 6405 come? Is that the actual dues that we're gonna be charged?
well, ARA is not just dues, that's
Or,
glass recycling, plastic recycling, so we have to pay them, so we're probably.
so we're paying them $6,500 and they're giving us 14,000, is that how
Yeah.
that works?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So the
on-
6405, you just took that off of actuals.
Correct,
Okay.
yeah,
So you're, I'm sorry,
I just went up,
equipment maintenance, you spent $4,133 so far this year. So you're over budget on that.
yeah, and the equipment maintenance is the compactors, and not be confused with vehicle maintenance. So we were over a little bit on equipment maintenance because we had a compactor that needed, emergency repair and some equipment, some parts.
So this is your fixed equipment,
Correct.
okay. So you think $3,000 is okay?
Should be if all we have is,
Okay.
maintenance PMs.
And vehicle maintenance,
Yeah, that's what we went. Sideways.
Yeah, but that's, you still, according to this, unless it's just not up to date, you still get 3,100 left in that line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
3,800.
No, 39 is what it was spent.
3,900.
we,
3,100 left in the line.
yeah,
Yeah.
but we've got 17. That bill for 1,700 to get paid, for the tank, $5 tank.
I don't think so.
So that would,
That will
come off another 17.
17 off of the 31.
And,
So another 1,400.
yeah, and we'll
Will be
owe, we're waiting for a bill from welder, and that's probably
Excuse me.
500 or 600, so it's gonna be pretty close.
All right, refresh my memory, where's the backhoe repair coming from?
Florida, in,
No, where's the repair money coming from?
Oh, we're gonna have
Oh,
to take it
yeah.
out of contingency.
Okay.
That's gonna have to happen that
I mean,
way.
is that gonna happen before the end of the year?
so this is what I wanted to touch base with you on. I am not able at this moment to find a replacement machine, so if we can't, I'll push on it again this week, but we might have to try and limit that thing till we're fairly certain that the snow is over, and then ship it out and.
Well, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Cause, so I don't know if we can put that money into, our reserve, but if we can just hold that money over for that repair.
No, we'd have to have a contract for it.
Oh, yeah, we've only got a contract for 16,000. We actually have a written
So this
price.
one out of Coleman's won't work at all? What,
Well, it doesn't have a thumb.
yeah, I appreciate that, but how's everything else the backhoe has? What do you use this thumb for?
Because we crunch up all the crap that's in the container.
Okay, so you got a
Make
month.
it little.
You got a month.
To find one.
Or to just
No,
deal without a
Deal
thumb.
without it for a month.
Right.
Yeah, deal without it for a month.
There are consequences to that. The containers will go up much later. We'll have more containers swallowing because we can't condense them, so we'll end up paying for more transportation. Yes, it's a,
All
cycle.
right, I guess the other thing we could do is just shut off C and D for a month.
Yeah, that won't go.
Well, we've got, I can get an excavator tomorrow, but that
Well, what have
doesn't,
you got
that
for
doesn't help
a
us from.
What do you have for a
helping
backhoe?
plow.
I have a cat backhoe with a thumb.
You wanna rent it?
It
I'm
does
actually having a
have,
little trouble with it. We haven't got it fixed yet. I've had the guy there to try and look at it, and then every time he shows up, it doesn't do it. It seems to be an intermittent problem. But as of last Wednesday, since we had to use it to load trucks, it's working. I mean, it's not working at all now. You step on the pedal, it does nothing.
That's the thumb control?
It's to drive it. There's
Oh.
no throttle.
that's awesome.
And I put a new pedal, I installed everything. It's,
So,
because the pedal is fly-by-wire. And so my first thing I did was went and bought a new pedal, didn't do a thing. So I gotta get somebody over to look at it, and now that it's not intermitting, hopefully they can figure out what it is. But that's the plan.
There's no throttle on the column, there's no column throttle on that?
It's a throttle on the floor, which is great. I can kind of use it by reaching back behind me and using that twister throttle, but it's not super convenient.
No.
Probably
And you
not
gotta
that
keep
safe
looking behind
either.
you to see it.
You need 3 hands.
Yeah, so, I mean, we loaded with it the last 3, days that we were called out, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and we used it with that, but it's not ideal.
I mean, I'd rather pay Jim to come over twice a week and crush shit and do whatever you gotta do, and then you can have his backhoe for whatever he does with it, as opposed to not doing anything.
Well, see, that's the issue. It's not twice a week, it's 3-4 times a day. So,
Then what's it gonna-
I can, my plan is to call, I said this before, I think, I'm gonna call the municipal association and have them put that in a little newsletter that says customer needs a backhoe for rent for a month. And see if we get some,
And Rosencrantz, you call those guys?
every place is sent them out. Windmill, Milton Cat, Beauregard, every machine's out for winter rental.
Is that all you need it for, is a month, just for crushing shit?
Crushing and plowing.
Well, plowing you could work around. Did I hear you say last week that you had a rubber track excavator that you
I
could?
can get a tracked excavator, which would do all the side work with the exception of plowing.
Right.
We can do some plowing with the Bobcat, but as Jim will, I'm sure, testify, that Bobcat won't be good if we get a huge storm.
Right.
Well, can you rent a rubber track excavator
Yeah,
with a thumb?
yeah,
Rent it,
yes.
not buy it,
No, rent it for $8,400 for
a
a
month,
month. Yeah,
right?
we can deliver it tomorrow.
Do
Well,
you,
let's get it done.
well, the next question is, could you take up slack for a month plowing to the transfer station?
Yeah, we'll do
Oh,
it.
he's got his skid
Or-
steer.
If you had a spare truck and you don't use it, it's running, you just
I
That
mean,
last storm we had no spare trucks.
dump
We had-
it.
well, I mean,
Three
you guys,
trucks, yeah.
you guys would have to work out the details, but at the end of the day, do you think that for a month, you could assist plowing the transfer
Yeah,
station?
because it's the rest of this year, basically, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So this, hopefully before we get any big snow.
yeah, but,
knock on wood.
But you still have,
Curse us.
you still have your skid steer.
yeah,
So you can, I mean, if you get a storm like we just got, you don't need a
right.
big machine, it just takes you longer.
Okay.
I'd say make it happen,
Get it
right?
done.
Sounds,
Yeah. Are you ready to make it happen now, Christopher?
It'll be done tomorrow.
Thank you for being willing to help out with plowing.
Yeah, actually, Chris just called me when you want us to do something a little bit differently. If I can get my backhoe fixed, I'm willing to come up and help you.
If we get,
You guys can work that out after.
Right.
Continue.
So how much of this vehicle maintenance is involved with the backhoe? Any of it
all of it.
in the budget? Well, you're not gonna,
Oh, no.
no, we're spending all the money to get it fixed. I
Yeah.
don't
No, the vehicle maintenance in your budget.
Yeah, and I just put down those numbers for vehicle maintenance are basically kind of what we've always had in case we had
Okay.
a catastrophic failure. But if we send that out and have it updated, we should be able to get by with 3,000.
Well, you should, but it's still, how old is it? 20 years old?
20 years old, yeah.
How old?
20,
20,
no, sorry, 19 years old.
well, close enough.
Yeah.
You get it fixed, we spend however much money you're gonna spend on it to get it fixed, and a month later, you could still have something go wrong with it.
Correct, yeah. I spent 1,900 for my annual PM on the Bobcat.
Yeah.
And the annual on the cases
I wouldn't reduce that vehicle and maintenance too much.
No, I'm not, I just wanna make sure we're not spending a lot of money rebuilding the backhoe and then keeping money on here to keep it running. I mean, we don't need to do that, but he's not doing that, so it's a moot subject. Yeah,
Everything else we did last week.
miscellaneous, what the hell's in that?
That's why we put the stickers, right? You had me change that from 500 to 3,000.
Yep, that was for the line that we put the stickers in, and we used miscellaneous, I used for, you know, and a
So-
lot of times, wire for the bills,
Building wire.
yes.
Okay.
like that.
So far this year, you spent $956 on miscellaneous. So I don't know why you got up to $3,000 on
Because
that.
we
That's
put
the stickers.
We moved the
Last
stickers
week,
there.
it was 500 he asked for, and you moved it to 3,000 last
We
week.
moved the cost of
Okay,
the
so we're
stickers.
buying the stickers through that,
Yes.
okay. And we have no idea.
And do have any building wire, which I'll have to do before the end of the year, so that will go against this year's budget for that.
All right. So did we actually adjust anything on this?
Yeah, the payroll lines.
Well, last week you
Yeah.
reduced the glass from 3,250 to 2,000.
Yep,
You changed electronics, he requested 5,268, you reduced it to 4,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got rid of 500 for recycling.
I'm sorry. Let me be more clear. Did we make any changes in what we have printed in front of us? Is what I'm asking.
Tonight, no.
Tonight, no.
Okay.
those are all,
Gotcha, I know where you're going.
I just wanted to make sure that there was anything on this that I missed for today's. Okay. So we're still at the 570,662.
Correct.
Okay.
Right, and this budget is showing us over, this is showing us upside down on the budget. For this year.
In other words, if we
The actual's 550 and the budget was 543. I'm showing that he's probably gonna be over by about $56,000. So,
going on this year's current.
right,
Now, I'm assuming you added a month to the 467?
right,
Okay.
so I think we're fine with this. That's what it is. And I don't know, well, Audrey will give us that number at some point in time. How his income is reflected against last year's income.
well,
Yeah, we talked about it and setting up a spreadsheet.
Okay,
We talked about it like Wednesday.
we brought in 118,000 total last year, and year-to-date this year, we're at 19. So I expect another couple.
because you got $1,000 for stickers up there.
Yes, plus what we sold here. So we might have sold another 200 here.
Yeah. Don't lose that revenue. It's not much.
No, but that's what we just.
So to Chip's point, if we stayed with this current budget, we'd be essentially increasing by 10%
Right,
over 2024 actuals. And how do we justify that?
well, the 2024 actuals are only good until today.
No. What I did was,
Oh, you had 2023 actuals?
no, I took the 2024 actuals year to date, added a month, which
I get 5%, just under 4.8%.
I had 5.1, but let's see if can we all agree on something? Let's do it all again.
So, the calculation that I did was the 467 year to date, divide by 11, multiply by 12, that gets you to 509. All right, so that's basically just bringing it to the 12-month figure. the proposed is 570, right?
Yeah,
So that gets us over essentially by $60,000. 60,000,
509, 744 is the number you've got, right? I'm sure it is.
509, yeah.
Okay.
The proposed budget is for 570. I'm just taking the hundreds of $1,000s.
Okay, but we have actuals and we have budget amounts.
Yeah.
Apples, oranges. So, and I tried to explain this to our budget committee friends as well. We'd have to actually know the actual, so we'll know the actuals in January.
I understand.
And then we can compare the 2 years. But when we're budgeting, we're trying to forecast the expense.
I understand.
So it is the budgeted amount to the budgeted amount. That's the two numbers we need to compare.
Okay,
so when you're talking about increases, it's budget versus budget,
right.
Right.
not actuals versus.
Okay.
So let's figure out what that is, shall we?
Budget versus budget, I came up with like 4.8%.
Yeah, which sounds about right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, because we don't zero budget, regardless of what Mr. Morrison wants to say. So we knew it was gonna go up, but that's the other reason it would be nice to have before tomorrow night's meeting what the income has done as well.
You won't be discussing this one tomorrow night. You have a couple
Or,
weeks.
it's 2 more weeks from there, I'm sorry, yeah.
Okay,
I'm confused about what you're talking about, what the income was.
yeah, what's your revenue?
Right here.
Oh, that's your income this year.
Oh,
I wanna know what the income was the previous year.
oh, yeah.
I need to get a trend going here, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna,
well, last year was,
we're gonna do a spreadsheet together.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
you've got all the numbers, Chris. I'm not worried
Yeah,
about
you
that.
need more than 1 year, let's get a
Yeah,
couple,
we
Yeah,
like 3 years.
well, I'll get what I get, I think.
yeah, you know.
So can I make a motion that we approve solid waste 4324 for $570,662?
You may make that motion.
Same motion made.
I did make it.
No, you asked if you could.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sorry. I'm making that motion.
Okay,
It was a rhetorical question.
second? I'll second. Any further discussion? Dave, you good?
I'm good.
You sure?
I am.
Discuss.
Nope.
Okay.
All those in favor?
All right.
Aye. Okay.
We want to discuss these. Yeah, wait until this is good.
No, let's do it quickly.
What is that?
They all have copies of the transfer station holiday schedule. And to keep labor costs somewhat in line, because remember we had all the days off that they projected for they have some days that they get off. So we moved some of those Sundays to Tuesdays, but we also had the day after Christmas. Chris has recommended taking Christmas Eve. It's not a busy day at the transfer station, it's the day they work.
Yeah.
So the guys at the transfer
Hold
station.
on.
Yeah.
We did it, this was the motion, we voted on this calendar,
Right.
not that long ago, so I'm gonna make a motion to reconsider the transfer station holiday calendar for 2025.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, discuss.
So we updated it, and instead of the day after Christmas, we put Christmas Eve. Otherwise, everything's the same as you approved last time.
So the Sundays have been moved to Tuesdays, right?
Most of them.
Most of them.
As
Are the,
discussed.
the two most important
The
ones?
The
most
three-
important ones was
The
what-
three
yeah.
critical
Or
ones.
three?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
And the only reason, I had a lengthy discussion about floating holiday or just getting rid of it altogether and just calling it Christmas Eve. But I hope I win the discussion. I don't want to get rid of the floating
I don't know that,
language because if it goes away, it won't have to back. That's fine.
Hmm?
Yeah.
I'm with you.
So I think that, you know, next year when
Nice to have that option.
when we're discussing budgets next year or holidays, the guys might want the day before Easter.
It all depends, because the holidays shift every year,
Right.
it change.
So that was it.
But-
Then we picked the December 24th for the float.
The problem I have with floating holidays is that you're open. You can't have a floating holiday where you just close the place and everybody takes a day off randomly. So this we can post on the websites and everything. Everybody's gonna know when you're not there.
Right,
So that's the problem I have with floaters.
yeah.
Just,
Well, it's the use of, he's using it, in this case, the way that we want.
yeah, just move
He's
it around.
establishing it well ahead of time, it's gonna be published.
Right.
So next year, Independence Day or something, somewhere else down the calendar could be the floating holiday.
But could-
No, Christmas
Not
Eve, he's calling it,
25.
he's calling it.
Yeah, Christmas.
It's always going to be that.
It has to be a
No,
day they're
sorry.
open
Uh,
and we give them the holiday or we end up paying overtime.
So this year, I believe they got to choose it, right?
Well, yeah, and we
Yeah.
had been all along expecting to take Christmas Eve this year. However, looking at the calendar, Christmas Eve is
Is
a
on
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
and Christmas is Wednesday.
right.
So that would leave, people to come Sunday prior to Christmas, Saturday after Christmas. I don't know if it would be a huge issue, but it's something that you need to know,
If the holiday falls on a day you work normally
Yes,
and you take the holiday, then it's no foul. I mean, it just, you get paid for the day you didn't work. You don't get an extra day because you didn't work that day.
So I
So-
think what he's
Right.
asking is, can he close Tuesday and Wednesday this Christmas?
Yeah, what he's saying,
Oh,
this year, it's gonna be weekend to weekend, the transfer station's not gonna be open in the middle of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, like it normally is. Because Christmas Eve and Christmas Day fall on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right.
So are you okay with that?
It won't happen again for 10 more years.
yeah.
Yeah, well, Christmas Eve day, I can't imagine you get a whole lot of traffic anyways.
And everybody comes
Christmas
in
Day,
and says, why you open? We get countless numbers of people asking, why you open today, except for check.
Right.
never know when you're
Might be
open.
something we want to,
But,
if we are going to do that, it is something we want to publish right now. Yep.
yeah. I know that-
Well, it's not this year, it's next year.
no, he's asking for this.
This
Talking about
This
this
year?
year.
You wanna do it this year too?
Well, this year's.
Next year will just be one day.
Next year will be Wednesday.
Oh. Thought we were talking about next year.
So Christmas is on Thursday?
Next year.
Next
year.
year.
This year it's on Wednesday. So he's asking for 2024.
I thought we were talking about the 2025 calendar, I didn't know that we jumped into
No.
2024.
I'm just trying to clarify for this year, so it's not a surprise. We plan on publishing it and putting it on the web.
Okay, then I think what we need to have is Audrey just audit the vacation or the holidays for this year. If we're gonna make any changes for 24 or modifications, I think we need to know what actually is happening.
Yeah, but I don't think we should change it this year, we've already,
We can't change 24.
no, but I think that that's what you're asking, right?
Well, just a float.
They haven't used, the employees have not used their floaters yet for this year.
So you want to all float on the day
They
before
all want to
Christmas?
float on the 24th.
He's asking to change the calendar and take Christmas
What
Eve day
were
off
they
this
getting?
year.
They haven't had their 12 holidays, obviously.
Correct.
So how does this affect that?
It's a use it or lose it thing. In other words, they haven't used their floater yet.
Uh,
Therefore, what Chris is saying is, let's use it on Christmas Eve. It's not busy. It makes a lot of sense. Can we do that?
Right, and it's not use it or lose it. If they get paid 12 holidays. If we make them work on the holiday, they get overtime, but
So if they didn't use it, they would get paid.
No, you lose a floater. You don't use your floater, you lose it. I just sent them a
another
note.
reason I don't like floating
Yeah,
holidays.
but we can, I mean,
So this is a consequence of not having we're trying to decide this year for the floating holiday for next year.
Right.
Right,
We
which I don't have a
didn't-
problem with.
Right, but we didn't do that last year, it sounds like. We never solidified it. And so the ramification is now Chris is saying, hey,
felt
we
it
haven't
was
used
solid.
it, let's use it on the 24th.
When we discussed it, I think that the intention was Thanksgiving Eve Day or Christmas Eve Day, the two big holidays.
But it was never solidified and it's not on the calendar.
We had the floater on the calendar. We never picked it. So,
If it's already, if it's something that we haven't done, I suggest that we do so. And I agree that Christmas Eve is probably one of the better days to do it on.
Well, for 25, we don't have this issue.
No, because it's right here.
Because it's-
yeah,
So let's not have this issue.
Right, so this is,
10 years from now, you'll have this issue.
I voted on that.
yeah.
So he's asking for Christmas Eve as the floater
I
holiday.
think he's announcing he's taking it.
No, look, as slow as it is, I could work up there by myself. And get the staff to get out. And, you know, it's,
Slowly plowing the driveway with your skid steer.
yeah, so, I mean, I just want to make sure
Oh, yeah,
guys.
if it snows that day, I'm taking that day.
so,
I wanna make sure
do we need a
guys-
motion for this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Alright, so the motion would be that, we will be closed December 24th, 2024, at the transfer station as the floating holiday for the year of 2024.
All right, I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I'll make sure it
Okay.
gets posted.
And do
You
we
better
need
put a big sign on that door.
Maybe I'll get the fire department.
Yeah, let people know
Oh,
ahead of time.
sure.
Now you need to vote on the 2025.
Now we need to vote on 2025.
I'll make a motion to accept the 2025 holiday transfer station schedule as presented today.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye?
Aye.
I would say regarding the transfer station policy, Chris hasn't looked at it yet, and it's the first time you've seen it, so you may wanna do some general discussion, but then, wait till Chris is here in 2 weeks. Or-
To vote on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would, if Chris isn't prepared, 'cause he hasn't seen it,
Okay,
I can agree.
that's more of a conversation with me and what I was coming up with.
yeah, that's fine. And you know that I already
You already marked it up.
I already have an issue with one of the
Yeah.
paragraphs, so,
So we can talk about that after Jim, but
okay. All right,
This.
good? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, Jim.
Nothing too big today to talk about, so.
Do we plow North Line?
We do.
Because I happened to, somebody came to me and complained about that.
So, on Thursday, when it snowed, it was so warm out that
That it was wet.
we couldn't really plow it.
Right.
Because the plow digs in.
Yep.
I did talk to somebody today, and they said that it's a special plow that you put in the, well, cutting edge, you put in the bottom, rubber. He says, game changer. People are starting to use a rubber cutting edge, but it's only for dirt.
Okay.
you
So how do you-
So you gotta dedicate a plow to the dirt roads?
Well, you gotta change the cutting edges, which is not a 5-minute project.
No.
Right.
And it's only good in the early season and the end of the season.
Right.
But he said more and more people are starting to use them. He's starting to see them.
Was this somebody in the industry or?
Yeah, it was somebody that sold us the truck that we have. We're having issues, so it's part of our discussion tonight.
The big, the 10-wheeler?
Yep. Turns out nothing lasts forever.
Well, it hasn't lasted a year.
It is, just a year. So, about a month ago, we noticed that we were using a little bit of antifreeze, but you couldn't see it leaking. But it was using, it used about like a gallon. Like, well, we might as well get it down as quick as we can, so we called, made an appointment, it takes 2 weeks to get one. And then last week, when we went to get it back, he goes, yeah, well, we checked it, and, we put compressed air in there, and we can see there's a pinhole in it.
And
Going where?
In where?
Into the
The
head?
head,
No.
block?
Out of the radiator. Pinhole in the radiator. I'm like, well, how did that happen?
Well, that's another shatter, right?
And he's like, well, maybe a piece of debris blew up. So like, oh, okay. Is that covered under warranty? And I was like, absolutely not.
why?
Because it's
You
damaged.
can't prove it's a piece of rock
Yeah,
and off
it's-
the road.
I know.
Yeah, yeah.
He's not done yet.
Okay.
So it gave me an estimate of $6,800 to change the radiator in that thing. So
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we have these lights flashing on the dashboard saying the axle temperatures on the two rear ends is too hot, which they're not. You can put your hand on them, they're not too hot. What's happened is there's some corrosion in the sensor, and you got to change the sensors, but it's just going to do it again. You know what I mean? It's like, do you guys have an update for that or something? He's like, no, it's just going to put the same one back in. Like,
How old is this truck?
a little over a year.
Oh my gosh.
It's got 11,000 miles on it. What do you want for 238,000?
But it's-
So they're gonna change these sensors year after year?
Well, so I
'Cause
asked
we're
that
not
question,
gonna
and
do
it's like $800 for those sensors.
We're not paying $800.
Yeah.
Why should we? It's a
So,
powertrain issue. The powertrain warranty on that is more than 12 months.
It's also a truck that spreads salt, so
Doesn't matter.
it could easily be blamed on corrosion,
So-
environmental.
so I went down, when we dropped it off, I didn't bring it to where we actually bought it. I was like, we're gonna go to the closest place, because everybody owns, all
Yeah.
the companies got bought up by ATG. They own like 12 dealerships now, so we're surrounded by them. So I called today to the guy that we bought it from, our salesman, who does have some pull. He's been there for like 38 years or whatever. I said, this is crazy. And not only that, I talked to my neighbor up north this weekend, and he said he's had 2 of those trucks on his flatbed with the same issue. And he goes, well, we do have another one of those trucks in our shop right now as we speak that needs radiator. What happens is when they crimp them together, the crimping's not holding. It's plastic versus crimping to metal. I said, well, shouldn't that be covered? He goes, send me that paperwork you got from the place down.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm gonna see what I can do, but we've had this problem in the past. They said they fixed it with the older trucks. Apparently they have not. So he's gonna try to do what he can do.
So there's no vehicle recall or anything on these?
No, well, they're never gonna admit to it,
Well, they have to. If there's
Well,
enough
only
of
if
them.
there's enough of it, you know what I mean? Nobody makes a recall. It's always, oh, I've never heard of this. We're the only one,
Yeah.
So at least this dealer says he knows that one is in the shop right now for that. He goes, let me talk to the guy that's, in charge of that, see what we can do for you. And I told him about the other thing, with the sensors. He goes, that's not right either. Let me
Yeah.
look and see what we can do. Meanwhile, we had no truck to use, but. Oh, so when they put the air in there, obviously they made it worse. Took 2 gallons, I had to put 2 gallons in it just to get it home.
Because they blew the hole open.
Yeah, exactly. Probably used 120 pounds instead of like a little,
Thanks so much.
compressor, in a little handheld one. So, and it got worse and worse, because we had to use it during the storm, because my 10-wheeler went down with a blown hydraulic hose. So we had to use it, we just kept putting antifreeze in it, used non-tox, and we made it through, but it got worse and worse and worse. I don't wanna drive it any more than we absolutely have to at this point.
Yeah.
Um,
Then you
And
start
what would
risking.
They give you a cost of $6,000
$6,800 for,
for. I'd call Rochester Radiator another independent.
so I
Let's see what
actually
the
called
core
Sanford
is.
Radiator,
Okay, there you go.
and, I've known Tony for 20 years. and he's been good to us. He called me before I got here and said, I'm having trouble cross-referencing because it's new and sometimes they give you like 10 numbers, but
Right.
you gotta find another cross-reference number to match one of those 10 numbers for the same radiator. Yeah.
So he can't find the part?
No, he just needs to do a little more research. He goes,
Yeah.
the worst case scenario is we may have to take the radiator out, bring it to him, and he's gotta measure it and then try to line one up and take the
Yeah, you
measurements.
just make it.
So you can get
cool.
an OEM radiator, another one just like you have, but
I
you
don't
don't
know.
wanna do that because it's plastic and metal.
Yeah, so we don't even know that for sure.
You want a real radiator.
I said, is that something you have in stock? He goes, that I can't promise. I don't know how long it takes to get one,
Mhm.
at the dealership. Nobody knows at this point.
Oh, the dealer.
The dealership, yeah.
Yeah, but not the
like you said,
radiator
why
guy.
we wanna put the same thing right back in and have
Yeah,
it
but
last
what is the
one more
radiator
year.
guy gonna say to you? I mean, if they're not gonna stand by their truck and they're gonna try to charge you $7,000 for a radiator, I'd get a price from an independent
Hmm.
and see what a real radiator would cost.
Yeah, well, that's what we're thinking. I've had to change one before in my truck. It
Yeah,
wasn't terrible, but this one's a little bit more complicated. I think they say it takes 12 hours to change the radiator in that thing.
Jesus, kidding me?
Yeah, it's got a big housing around it, and that's how I said,
Yeah, we
there's
got
no
air
way
wrenches,
a rock
right?
blew up in that thing. It's actually in a big housing. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah,
It's caged in. And you have to take out all of it as one unit and then separate it all apart.
right, and put it back together again.
Yeah. It's not that we can't do it. I'm sure we can.
In spare time.
Yeah, as it was today, we had 3 projects we're working on at the same time, because last week was not good for us. Sanders down, trucks down, cutting edges, breaking. And that's the nature of the business. But it's the first storm, it's always the
Yeah,
worst.
that was the worst one.
Regardless, we're working on that.
Are these sensors that are in the axles replaceable easily?
What's
Well,
that?
they have to
Sensors?
do it.
Oh,
Can you-
yeah,
something that you can
again,
replace?
I think they charge probably close to $200 an hour for labor.
Yeah,
So, and again, I'm sure, we can do it ourselves and maybe. we
well,
can
I don't,
screen or
yeah, but
something.
where are the sensors? Inside the axle?
No, I think they're,
Or do they screw?
well,
in?
they screw in, yeah, they screw in, correct.
So you
They're
don't-
not in the axle housing, right?
Screws into the axle housing, correct.
Yeah, but essentially you just unplug it, unscrew it, put in a new one, plug it back in.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't require a laptop to program it, we should be okay. And unfortunately, that's what they're doing these days. You can't do it yourself.
Right.
I'm running into that on, our cat backhoe.
It's like when you change a wheel on a car that's got brake sensors. They have to go into the
Yeah.
internals.
Yep, I mean, at least you and I can go buy one
Let
of
it
those
know.
things to do that for like $50.
Right, the air sensors, the tire
Yeah,
pressure
tire
sensors.
pressure sensors, yeah.
Yeah.
So those aren't a big money thing, but what is when you get to those
Oh,
certain
they're,
trucks.
they're at Porsche, I know that.
Oh, for the thing to change the sensors to
Right.
program. Maybe on a Porsche, I don't know, it could be different, but
Yeah,
like on my truck, it's not a big deal. But
yeah. Probably not. I
Like
just-
Cat and like Mac, they don't release their software for anybody to release. They want you to buy it for a lot of money. And you gotta pay for it every year. A lot of times,
So what's the cost of replacing these sensors?
they want $800 from the dealership.
A piece
No,
for the whole deal?
yeah,
Okay, $800, that's it though.
Yeah.
Then the warranty on those sensors begins the day they put them in.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah, well, make sure, tell them we're not paying $800 a
And I
year.
feel like there's gotta be a way to protect them.
Yeah,
It's a freaking truck built for doing exactly what it's doing.
they sold it to you with a plow.
I know, but I swear that things aren't engineered for that purpose.
That's not our problem.
I know, but it is.
Well, it is because we bought it in.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a lot of better ways that they could have redesigned to protect things, and they didn't do it. And I don't think it's just them, I think it's every truck dealer for the most part. They don't build a snowplow truck like from a factory.
It's the nature of things these days.
This is why I say we gotta get rid of the things quicker.
Yeah, but that's at $280,000 pop, you don't get rid of it
Tomorrow.
with 11,000
I
miles.
know, right?
I mean, that's
It's expensive.
ridiculous. I mean, I'd tear the sensors out and say, the hell with it.
So it doesn't bother me that the light comes on, but, you know, you're gonna get something in the mail probably.
Well, if they're not gonna warranty the truck, what the hell difference does it make? We're gonna have to pay for its repair anyway.
So we have major components, you know, the engine,
Hmm?
transmission,
Rear end.
yeah, but not the sensors.
Where on it does it say not the sensor?
I don't know.
And the radiator doesn't fall under a major component?
Of course it does.
So I think it does, and that's what he's gonna work on it, because he already knows that it came apart at the seam, and it's not a pinhole like the first place we bought it to was trying to tell us,
Mm.
even though they're the same company. And
I mean,
brought it to Seabrook
you can't-
instead of Vermont.
You can't have an engine without a radiator.
No, you can't.
How is that?
Not for long.
Not, well, exactly, this is what I'm saying. I mean, to me, it's a major component of the process.
Yeah, bring your warranty in, we'll take a look.
Okay, well,
Or do we have it? Maybe we have it here. Or do we have the
we probably do.
truck paperwork
Yeah,
here?
we do. You know, but I do have somebody working on it that from the company saying,
Yeah.
he goes, I get it. I know why you're upset. And we're gonna try to work with you.
So if they don't work with us, do you think that there's an option to have a real radiator built for it?
We think so. And actually, the dealership guy that I'm talking to said that there is, he goes, we can probably get an aftermarket radiator that's actually better. I said, well, that's what I would want. He goes, yeah, and it's cheaper for us too.
Right.
So,
Right.
And do we get a 12-month warranty with it?
So we don't want OEM,
Probably not.
because OEM is garbage.
yeah, yeah. I
That's
think, I
awesome.
think they want like 3,800 for an OEM radiator.
Wow.
I think it's, yeah, right around there. I have the quote.
Another $5,000 to install it?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Another
no.
3.
It was, yeah, so 3,800, so basically 4,000 for the radiator and 3,000 to put it in. Wow. Yeah, it's a lot of money.
That's a lot of labor.
Anyway,
Not at $200 an hour. You know, I think it pays 12, I think, you know, they look it up and it says it pays 12 hours each way, in and out, you know, or out.
oh, I hate that. I hate,
Flat.
I
low
hate
price,
that.
Flat
Well,
rate. Flat
Flat
rate.
rate.
That's how they come up with their quotes.
Yeah.
It may not be their actual, but, you know, because some companies do that, I don't think they do.
Oh, okay.
But that's how they come up with their quote.
The
You know, it
estimate.
says
Ah,
it takes
okay.
12 hours
Okay.
each way.
Well, there's a difference between an estimate and a quote.
Because, you know, I've had work done at, doesn't matter where, but, you know, it's a book rate, and you're getting charged that book rate whether it takes them, you know, if the book rate's 3 hours and it takes them an hour and a half, they charge you the 3.
Oh, you got a hot shop mechanic that can take 3 hours and do the job in 45 minutes. He's made the company a ton of money.
Right, and that's,
Well,
and I have a
they
problem
get
with
way
that.
too.
Yeah.
Well, he's gonna get paid 3 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
So
have
he's
fun.
making more money too.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need it for Thursday's storm?
We're gonna be fine for Thursday, because there's, you know, they're talking like an inch of snow, so we can get by without that truck. And I got mine going today. We got the hydraulic hose made, and, you know, and that was the other thing. Thanksgiving, when the thing broke, you know, you're not getting parts.
Nobody's,
Oh, no. So it's like, well, I guess we're done with the truck for today.
right.
Right, we have to pay for your truck.
It doesn't cost you a nickel when mine breaks.
No, when you operate it for us, it does.
No, you're not paying, you didn't pay for the hydraulic hose, I did.
No, when you drive it on the street
Oh, yeah.
plowing snow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately, when I'm plowing, what I plowed with it before it broke doesn't cover the cost to fix it. Anyhow, I do have a quote, the estimate right here, what's it say? Service estimate,
Yes.
and the radiator is $4,000.
all right. Are we talking about guardrails?
Oh, I do have some information on that, yeah, we can talk about that.
Do we sign up for that?
So, basically, this is what they sent us. You have a copy, I believe, already, too.
Probably threw it away.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
It's in there.
Is that the old one?
43,
No, okay,
new
yeah, that
one.
is correct,
There's
yep.
the new one.
Yep, that's 43.
So
Okay,
this
yep.
covers Ledge Hill, Union Wharf, and Sodom.
Yeah, so basically, what they said was, we'll get more. It was cheaper than we were thinking, at least, there's a new guy now. The guy left that we were working with, and that was a new guy, not feeling super confident with his abilities, but.
New girl in town.
So he's saying, well, you have more money. I'm like, well, we'll do more. We want to spend this much money. He says, all right. So that's what he did. He gave us this piece of paper too that says,
Yeah. What can you do for
I had
this
it.
amount of money?
yep. So we were supposed to come up with more guardrails this winter.
Okay,
So we do have that in place.
Are we thinking this is a warrant for 2025?
no, we're trying to think of how to take it out of this year's
I'm
money.
trying to do this year, yeah.
Okay.
And where are we getting money from for this?
We had that,
Something fun.
Highway block grant, money left?
no, it was,
ARPA?
On the, we did have some of the Gopher funds left.
yeah, that's right, 46,000 of that is left, I thought, or 66, I think it's 46.
No, I thought you had 62, wasn't it 62,000?
Wait, that was,
That's why we need that out for that.
right,
Yeah, you had requested them to come in first.
but you used some of that for Pine Mill Drive, did you not?
No, I don't think we end up using any of that, right?
No,
Okay, but we have to use it before the December 31st. We
Or
have
he's
to,
committed?
right.
so we need to,
So we need to add to this, in other words, is what you're saying.
we need to act on this so he can sign the contract for 43,000, even if the guy's not gonna do it until next spring.
Understood, but it sounded like we had more than 43,000.
We do.
So do we need to extend this, or do we have another place that money's
No, we
already
have
spoken
other
for?
places.
We do,
we can
okay.
Work on.
And this is gonna be for 62,000. This is just, you know, if you read this part, it says we will spend up to, I just need to find more guardrails for them to do. So if you wanna do the
Wasn't some of-
62 versus the 43.
Wasn't some of the money going to pay for the prep work that he's done in Pine Mill?
Yeah, but they just said they didn't
We
need it.
didn't need it. He was under in one of the neighborhood roads.
But we were over on,
I did too, but
Warrant articles are good, covering it.
So,
But,
so given that, then we do want to increase, as you just said. Correct?
we can. I mean, that's for you guys to
I
decide.
can't, without seeing the numbers in front of me. And I certainly don't remember what we discussed.
okay, so before we start increasing that, we're currently, what, $4,000 upside down on the highway budget on December 2nd.
Yep, that's gonna be good.
So your rate of travel for, I mean, I can't do it exact, but 683. So 745. Minus 679. $66,000 upside down, possibly
And
this
that's,
year.
and that's not including the contingency?
Right, no, this is just talking about the highway budget.
Yep.
So the possibility is he's probably 60 grand on the hole. So I would not expand the guardrail, what,
We have the FEMA money that we got for the spring storm, and I'm waiting for Captain Morgan to
Right.
get back on vacation so that we can take all the expenses associated with that FEMA
right.
out of the highway budget.
But if the FEMA money's working as fast as the Pier 19 money, then we'll be in
We
March or
have-
April.
We have the FEMA money,
We have it.
right, we have
There are
that,
2 payments that we were supposed to get from FEMA.
right, so I believe it was
50.
57?
50
57?
I thought it was 54, but
But
57.
I don't know what Captain Morgan, what specific invoices I'm going to, so maybe 2 meetings ago, I had asked Tim Green, our auditor, we got reimbursement, and should I take the expenses associated with that out of the operating budget? And he said yes. So I will be taking a slew of your bills, so you
Okay.
won't be so upside down.
So we got $20,000 left in the ARPA money, or whatever, Gopher money. If we sign up for the 43,000, whatever, $360.
385, 43, 385.
So sign up with that, that leaves us with about $20,000, a little less than $20,000 in that. That would cover his repairs. Because we can also, that's the same money we used to buy the truck. So if we have to repair the truck. So all I'm saying is that my suggestion would be just to sign up for this much guardrail work.
For now.
And then we'll worry about how to spend that money before the end of December.
Well, we're gonna have to decide pretty quick. We've got
Yeah,
one more
one more
meeting to
meeting.
decide.
That's it?
Yeah,
The 12th?
We have
No,
at least 2 more meetings.
16th?
Because we're not gonna have no meeting between the 16th and the 1st of January. Because we have to do all of these, what's that stuff called?
Warrant articles,
No.
we have to
Encumber, we have to do all the encumbrances.
Yeah, all that's gonna be the 16th.
we're gonna end
So-
up having to have a work session or do that on the 16th.
Yeah, she's not gonna be ready by the 16th. She thinks she is, but she isn't gonna be.
Then the following Monday is,
Father's
we're doing
Day.
the wrong month.
We can see that?
Yeah.
16, 23, and 30.
16, 23,
Traditionally,
and 30.
we have always
Year's-
met sometime in the last
New Year's
4
Eve.
days of the year.
The day before New Year's Eve.
Not the day before New Year's Eve, but some
Mhm.
some days before New Year's Eve in that last week after Christmas.
Well, we could do a work session near Christmas.
After Christmas.
Today's the 2nd, so we have a
Yeah.
meeting on the 16th, and then we have a meeting, actually, we have a meeting on the 30th. So we have 2
Okay,
more
so
after this.
2 more, that's what we need then. So we have 2 opportunities, aside from having a work session, to determine how to get rid of that money. And I'm sure we can spend it somehow.
Well,
Do we need something that's more of a contract form than what they sent us here?
This is an estimate,
It looks
right?
like just a small thing on the bottom
They
here.
want you to approve it.
I mean, it does have a double, it has a cover page to it.
This has a signature place.
Well, they didn't include traffic control, so they're expecting you or someone to do that. It says traffic control by others.
which means you'll be signing somebody with a, do you have,
Yeah, we had stop and go paddles,
you have
but
stop and go?
nobody likes doing it, but we do.
All private utilities not covered by dig safe or responsibility of others.
Yeah, we don't need the collection.
Let's just see.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion that we have the chairman sign this proposal from Fence and Guardrail for $43,395.
$43,385.
I got 300, oh, I'm sorry, my glasses are wrong.
Well, the other thing is, if you look at-
$43,385.
on the cover page, do you read the cover page? No, if you don't
I
have
don't
it.
think she's looking at.
Oh, you didn't get that? That's kind of the important part, I think. You guys need that.
Yeah, no, we don't want $62,000, we want the 43,000.
Okay.
Are they saying it's 43 plus 20,000
Okay,
over
yeah.
the labor?
Well, we were supposed to find more guardrails. If you want to spend the 62,000
Yeah,
that you
well,
told me to
no,
get,
we,
you changed that, okay.
yeah,
All
no,
right, so just the 43.
just the 43.
Okay, so we gotta put a note in there saying just the 43.
Well, this is the only page we're
I know, but
signing.
if you read the cover page to it, it says it'll go up to 62 if we can provide more guardrail for them.
Yeah, that was the original quote, wasn't it?
So,
Well, those were what you asked for, yes.
Yeah, but we also sent you back and to do this exercise because we only wanted to spend
Okay,
this amount of money.
No, that never happened.
I'm gonna continue my motion. So I have moved that we have the chairman sign the proposal for $385 to fence and guardrail.
Motion's been made.
Oh, second.
Motion's been made. Okay, let's discuss further.
Okay, so
Make sure
at that
everybody's head's in
point,
the
at
same
that point in time, we've got a signed agreement from our side.
Correct.
If you submit it to them and see if it changes on their side.
Okay.
place. Can I see that cover letter?
Oh, sure. I mean, it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they just want to get as much work out of us as they can, and you told them 62
Yeah,
grand.
we told them it's 62,000 some
Right,
change to
You
spend,
know,
so that's what they wrote.
yeah. But they didn't, they gave us 43,000.
Is that because we only gave them the 3 roads and that's all that was there?
Well, we originally thought that bid was higher, because we got a quote before for just Sodom Road, and it was like enormous.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, now that we've seen it in person, you know, we found we don't have to do this, that, and the other thing, and it's gonna be
Okay.
less.
So this is, I mean, this is based on, you know, their real knowledge of what the actual places are and the things that
Yeah,
are
they
needed.
came out, they measured it, they
Right.
did
So-
assessment for how deep, and they looked at the culverts around.
Yeah,
it.
you can tell them you got a radiator problem in a new truck and sensor problem, and you need to hold 20 grand back.
Yeah, so this cover letter is not committed to the 62,375. That's,
Up to.
it says that this unit pricing is valid for other guardrail repairs or replacement you identify, and we can perform that work in addition to the runs detailed on the attached proposal for the full $62,375 budget that you have allocated to guardrail repairs. Where did that statement come from? $62,375
From you guys, this is the number you
budget
gave
have
us.
No, that's the number we gave him.
Okay, so I'm just trying to clear up, that's
Yep.
all.
It's the gopher, or whatever money it was.
That's the full amount.
Yeah, we said
We
you
had
can
to go
spend
for
to this much.
Okay.
That's how much we gotta spend.
They came out, correct me if I'm wrong here, they came
My
out,
motion stands, it's been seconded.
looked at those 3 roads,
Yeah, no, we're discussing.
Yep. And
created this
43,000.
estimate, came up with the 43,000.
Correct.
Okay, and that leaves us some money,
Yeah,
which maybe we are probably gonna end up spending on the dump truck.
well, let's hope not.
Let's hope not, but we might.
Or we
So-
can spend it on lawyers.
So anyways, we're committing to 43,385 right now. With an affirmative
That
vote.
was my motion, yes.
Right.
Okay.
What do we do about, like, if there's any additional costs such as traffic control? How do we, does that fall, how do,
Well, he's gonna bill us for it.
okay,
You'll handle it.
Yeah, we can handle it. We'd
But
have to
he-
put
but
it
he's
under
gonna bill us
one of
for the
our, like,
time.
summer maintenance or something.
Right.
because
What might it be? $1,000 tops?
I have no idea how long it takes to do this.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, really.
Probably pretty quick.
I mean, can they do that in 3 days? I don't know.
I would imagine. But I imagine it's not gonna be a whole lot of money. And I think that would come out of the same.
that's what
same
that's
pot.
what I'm asking, I just don't wanna overlook the fact that there's probably going to be additional costs based on
Okay,
these
well,
terms
let's
and
get
conditions.
that. So there's 2 questions.
Yeah.
How long is this gonna take you to do? How much does my traffic control cost? You know that figure.
Or
And
can
just
come up
tell
with it.
us. And we'll put that
Okay.
contract together with that cost against the ARPA
Okay.
money.
That sounds like the easiest way.
That gives you less money to fix your truck, so you better start harder.
Yeah, the repair on the truck is really a contingency thing, because that's why you have contingency, if you have these unexpected costs. So the truck repairs are actually perfect for that kind of thing.
Well, so is this. That's how we bought the truck. We bought it with that same fund.
But you have 62,000 in that fund. so-
Right.
In the Gopher?
So you have to use, yeah.
Right.
So, and, okay. So, does the motion stand, given that we need additional costs to cover the,
No, all I've asked, the
Well,
motion
all he's
asks
asking
him
is
to
for this.
sign the document.
okay?
If, the bill that we get from him for traffic control
Well,
could be
Yeah,
$1,000,
we'll vote again.
then we'll vote again.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay, that's fair.
Motion's been made and seconded to award CWS $43,385 for guardrail repair. All those in favor?
Aye.
We must be getting close, aren't we?
So do you guys have any questions about the paving? I think we got you the estimates that you asked for. Are you guys all good?
I haven't gotten to the warrant articles to discuss the thing yet.
Yeah, you'll have to come back for that.
Okay, I just, yep,
Yeah, because we're on the operating budget now.
okay, yep, good. All right. We good on anything else?
I think so.
think so.
All right,
I think so.
guys have a good night.
You too?
You too.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
What do we got left there, Captain?
Let's see.
Consent calendar is next.
Consent calendar. This. It may just be left over, the personnel administration.
Yeah, what did we,
Are we doing,
Yeah, when I get up, we can talk about it. So do your other stuff and then we'll do some stuff under
okay,
town administrator.
let's see. Consent calendar. In this week's consent calendar, we have an agreement with the Wolfboro Snowmobile Club to use town property for the 24-25 season. In the past, we have voted for it. The only question that I would have is this agreement asks for a term, one of three choices: indefinite, or 1 year, or 5 years.
in the past, it's,
What do we got?
I'm not sure, the Wolfboro Snowmobile Club let them use town
Right, we
property.
can't obligate,
So 1 year,
so 1 year's
Yeah.
probably the best.
okay?
and then I think there was some language in there that we would switch to using email instead of, which is, do you have a problem with that?
No.
Okay. And the revised 2025 holiday schedule for the transfer station, we've already voted on that. We did vote on that.
Yes, you
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And the land use change tax for map 64 block 2 lot 1.
And is that, I don't have a question, I answered it myself, I'm sorry.
Okay. All right, so I will make a motion to sign the consent calendar, which includes the Wolfboro Snowmobile Club,
1 year term.
1 year term, and allow them to send us any future correspondence through email. And the remainder of the consent calendar.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Action items. We have our annual participation in the Education Coalition Communities 2.0 New Hampshire agreement.
Mhm.
We have a request for a stop sign at the intersection of New Road and County Road. And Tufton Borough Times schedule, it looks like it's time for the new article.
Which,
Yeah, what's the deadline for that? I did say, I know it's my turn. Yeah, what's the deadline for that?
It's inside the folder, I believe. I
Okay,
think it's the 3rd.
all right, well, let's talk about the Coalition Communities
yeah,
2.0. This is an agreement that we have signed in the past. We're committing funds from the town of Tufton Borough for our education lobbyists.
Right,
I asked, because there's no indication in the agreement of how much we're gonna spend, so I asked Audrey to put together a little history.
so can we sign it without having a
Yeah, but I wanted for our own knowledge, the potential that we're committing
And it's
ourselves.
charged to the legal line.
okay.
It gets charged to the legal line. Okay, in 2021, we spent $1,971. 2022, we spent $2,182. $2,182. 2023, we spent $7,165. In 2024, we spent $6,417. So, first 2 years were somewhere around $2,000, and last 2 years were somewhere around $7,000.
Because the court case hadn't happened, or it was about to happen.
Right.
Now it's
So
happening.
I can, so based on this trend, we're probably gonna spend somewhere around $7,000.
Right.
And is that in our budget?
We have a legal line.
Yeah, it's in the legal line.
Right.
Last year.
I'm just saying, is there enough money in that to offset that?
Yeah, it was reduced some, but, when we went through the budget committee process, it did
Right.
get reduced, but,
Right.
yeah, because it was reduced based on history, so.
So that legal
As long as you
line,
don't have any,
right, so that legal line is to a certain degree, something that we budget for, but we don't really know what those costs are gonna be until the year goes through. This happens to be one that we actually do know,
right,
Well, we
you can
kind of,
estimate.
The selectmen
right.
The selectmen approved $36,700 for the legal line. The budget committee reduced it to $31,700.
and last year, so far this year, we spent $21,000, so that would include
Right,
that money there as well.
Yeah, so we have 31,700 that's gonna go before the voter.
Yeah.
Okay, and so if we were to take this year's actuals and add the 7,000, Which-
No,
no, we've already paid it this year.
that would make it 14,000. We've already paid the 7,000 this year.
in there, yeah,
So
Next year.
that's, you take that out of the 21. I mean,
Right.
it just swap the money around, but I think if we leave the $30,000 covered what we needed.
Yeah.
okay,
So, like I said, we're not agreeing to an amount in this, we're
We're-
just agreeing that we're gonna pay the bill when it comes in. But historically, those are the numbers that we've paid.
sure, okay.
We have a request for a stop sign.
Well, do you wanna do one at a time, or do you wanna continue being?
Okay, I'll
part of
make a
it?
motion, we sign the agreement with the Coalition for Responsible School Budgeting, or whatever they're called.
There's, looks like this place for one signature.
Then I'll modify my motion to have the chairman sign.
Second.
Any further discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Have you both read the request for the stop sign?
Yes,
Yeah, he wants a stop sign in the middle of a travel way.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote no, because I think that this was figured out a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, I don't see any reason, it's a travel lane.
It's like putting a stop sign in front of my driveway
Right,
to slow traffic down. It doesn't make any sense.
right. So I'm gonna make a motion that we deny the request for putting a stop sign at the intersection of New Road.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
aye,
And the Tufton time schedule, it is January 3rd.
January 3rd.
January 3rd.
So we should have the information on the police department bidding process
Yeah,
by then.
yeah.
no, you just expanded it to the
Oh, that's
24th.
right, we did.
Oh, I thought it was the
January.
24th of December.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Right, so we missed that deadline for the police update.
okay.
But, I mean, at least we can say we have, a date and
Bidders.
potential bidders.
Yeah.
That's still an update, it's just maybe not.
Correspondence. We have a letter denying a workers' compensation claim. We have NRRA activity report, year-to-date through October, which I believe we already all
Right.
saw. Board of Adjustment notification of a variance granted. Another notification of a Board of Adjustment variance granted. DRA review of 2025 cyclical revaluation. Public notice of a public hearing for the town of Moulton Borough, I didn't read that.
Cell towers.
cell tower, okay, and a wetlands permit application for map 1435. Nothing that we have to do with these, with
The
this.
recommendation from DRA was, a correction which the assessor made to his contract.
To his contract?
Yeah. The contract that you all signed, he had already corrected it to 2025.
Okay.
So we signed the corrected one?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't have to.
No.
Nothing to do.
Okay, good.
You're good.
All right, town administrator and selectmen's updates.
Okay, you had asked me for a catastrophic leave update. You should each have a copy in your folder so you know the balance.
Yes.
Yep.
That looks good, thank you.
Right,
12 grand or whatever.
yeah, that's the current balance. And
Excuse me.
I met with Chris. We did work his budget carefully and went over holidays and things like that. I did the personnel administration budget if you want to look at that. So we talked about the quote from New Hampshire Interlocal Trust. I reached out to them and told them it would be a lot of pressure to try to get that done. She said we could do it mid-year. And I said, I don't have a quote for the dental, short-term, long-term life, which they call ancillary. And she said, well, you could just leave those with health trust and move the medical. But I would like to, if we're gonna do that, look at maybe doing it in March or June. Because
Doing the change? on
well,
those,
I would
or-
wanna reach out to all the employees and find out who, let them find out if their primary care and doctors are covered and have them have input, because the biggest concern the employees have is my doctor gonna be in that plan?
You can keep your doctor.
And, yeah, so,
So okay, the 433,000
that's,
is not the change that we reflected last week.
it is,
This
right,
one,
the healthcare,
okay,
okay, and then,
health trust.
right. And then I took out the deductible HRA reimbursement,
Mm-hmm.
and the dental insurance is a $21,980. I calculated the Social Security, retirement fund, unemployment, longevity pay, and then I added in the short-term, long-term, and life. I did round up from what I
So-
gave you for,
Okay.
2 new employees, because the quote I got, we didn't have the 2 new police officers.
So we're all set on that?
So that's 17,000,
No, the 17,000 short-term, long-term, and life,
right,
okay. But the top line didn't change because we
no, I
had,
had already built them in,
okay.
yeah.
And you're confident about this, Social Security, Medicare?
Yes, and I did that, 2 ways. I looked at all of the salaries that have been approved, and then I did the 6-point-something% on that, and then I compared to how we're performing this year.
This is 4155. Do I have, oh, it's on the back side.
Yeah, it's page 2.
Two-sided printing.
Oh, Audrey.
Damn it. so we're fine. You're staying at 90,000 on that?
Yes.
You moved a 3.5% increase?
Well, our new hires, are police and fire, and they don't get it.
Oh, right.
So the new hires are not gonna impact it,
Okay.
and I think we'll be okay.
And separation pay?
I don't know what that is. I took it out.
Separation pay, that usually means.
We gotta
when
put
buy
in-
a company,
Yeah.
We owe them any accruals
Right.
or other agreements. That's what I think it is.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
how
wrong.
that's how I interpret it.
So we gotta get rid of you.
Right, it's gonna cost us some money to do so.
You know, we do with a couple
Give
of
me
police
a little-
officers.
Give me a little bit of.
No, we don't give notice. So the negotiation starts, and then where does the money come from, I guess?
So you can put it back in there. You know, we didn't spend any 2023, 2024, so.
No, because we didn't separate with anybody.
Unless you know that nobody's gonna quit.
Well,
If
if
you
they
quit, you don't get
quit,
it.
you don't get it, right? It's when we decide that we just had enough of your,
Shenanigans.
I'm sorry, I was gonna use a different word, but it did start with an S.
This is the G-rated version.
I say
Perhaps
we-
PG.
I say we leave it out, we've got a contingency fund.
Sorry.
And just so you know, Audrey, and I'm just gonna take you to school a little bit. The contingency fund goes into the undesignated fund balance, or we can spend it however we want. That ARPA money or whatever it was
Right.
goes away in December. We don't get it again. And we can only spend it on highways and streets, and we did kind of scoot some for the docks, but
They loosened up some of the requirements for the opposite spending. I think you can spend it on general operating.
right, because they want to get it all spent.
Yeah.
All right, I'm happy.
No
I'll make a
changes.
motion on
Did you
the,
record that?
do I support that?
No, I was wondering if you recorded it.
Oh,
Say you're happy.
it's on, it's on YouTube. The whole universe can see it. I'll make a motion on the 2025 budget for 4155 personnel administration for $832.40.
$832,000.
$832,040.
Motion's been made,
Sorry, I moved the decimal point.
I'll second that.
seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
So based on that, I can sign the health trust commitment and get the renewal package out to the employees. So that'll be one of my priorities this week. And what do you want to see related to the municipal buildings? Oh, it's tabled for tonight, but I don't know how to prepare. I basically took the actuals and all the fire chiefs are his, but I took the actuals and did best guesstimates based on that.
Are we back to government buildings?
Yeah, I wanna know what you want from me. How can I make this go
Okay, we
quickly?
changed the townhouse maintenance to $800,
Right,
and we changed the townhouse improvements to $12,000.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And,
And we had a question on the Gould property.
yeah,
What
Yep.
is the $3,500?
what's $3,500 for?
and the thing I gave you, you know, 5,100.
Yeah, I just didn't like it.
So is the 3,500 then too low? Based on that quote? I mean, that seems obvious to me, but,
If it's for what this $3,500 is for. If you say that that's for mowing, then it's not enough.
right. So, Audrey,
Okay,
what is the
Gould
35?
property right now has spent $2,700. and there was nothing on that line, so that's $2,700 upside down. So assuming that, I don't know what else is to do, but in the last month of the year, I'd burn the place down myself, but at 3,000, given that operating budget that we currently have for '24, $3,000 is an accurate reflection of what we spent on the Gould property.
Was the Gould previously in the line above that other property? I didn't know what other was. And on the maintenance bill, the Gould property is getting,
You'd have to dig into the detail.
Yeah.
because we didn't have a budget for Gould
Yeah,
this
I know.
year
I see
or
that.
the previous year.
I see that.
So that's why you reduced the other property. The assumption was,
That was my assumption.
yeah.
We didn't have,
'Cause
we
it-
had a line item for it, we just didn't have any money in it. Gould property, right?
So
So what- so what-
why did we create a line for it?
Sometimes there's line items in the accounts that, you know, when Cammy and I do something, we go, well, that makes sense. It's
Yeah,
one for the Gould property. But my gut says that it was probably part of other property.
Yeah.
And for some reason Kathy wasn't using that Gould property line.
I agree with that, but without you saying I'm positive,
I'm not positive. I can move the Gould up there and we'll look happy. But,
to other property,
yeah, the one right above it.
I mean, other property right now, you have $1,750 in. I think I'd want a detail on what other property.
yeah. I get no problem with moving it up there, but
Well, I mean,
I wanna see the math.
we've only spent 30% of that other property section.
$4,250.
$42.50.
No, if you add the two of them together, it's $4,250.
You know, what do we actually?
$5,250. Sorry,
No, 4,000.
no, $5,250.
That's the budget, right?
If you add those two lines together.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I was just looking at the
So math
actuals.
works out here. You pulled it out and moved it down a line.
Right. Sorry, I was looking at the actuals.
But I kinda wanna be sure that that's what you did before I
$15.90.
vote on it.
Okay, so is that the only thing you have questions on? Because I can have that ready.
For next meeting.
Yeah, the two changes, the 800 and the 12,000,
Okay,
and then the question on, those two other.
what's in that other?
Yeah.
Okay, so other is $1,750 and Gould is
35,
$35.
yeah. You add those two together,
And we get,
and it equals 5,250, our
and we have
2024 budget.
spent on those two lines this year $42.90. And I don't know if there's anything else coming in. Got a month
Well,
left,
There could be snow removal,
right? I think the comfort factor happens when we know what the other property is.
Yeah,
Well, on the quote I gave you, you added 5,000, you came up to 5,100 earlier. So, okay, I'll just verify what the other property is.
yeah, just dig into the
Perfect.
detail.
Okay. And potentially, are all three of you coming tomorrow night to budget meeting?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, so might be able to get this one out. And then that would leave just one budget left for finance admin. And I didn't answer my phone when Lakes Region Computer called me today, and he's a big piece of that budget, so.
you're, are you saying that if you get that information together, you're gonna want us to vote on this tomorrow night?
You could.
Okay, then we won't adjourn from this meeting, we'll recess it. And adjourn it tomorrow night after the vote.
You can still take a vote during a budget meeting, and it'll be in their minutes.
Right, but we need
But
to.
leave this open.
Okay, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
I
all
think
right,
it's cleaner that way.
that's fine,
We just gotta remember to adjourn.
yeah.
Right.
Okay,
if you want us to vote on this tomorrow night, that's how I wanna do it.
All right,
We can always adjourn without voting too. Tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night.
if something comes up.
that's all I
Right.
have today.
Anything on the 19 Mile Bay, $100,000,
No,
when's that gonna happen? Well, I want a nasty gram off to whoever's holding the money.
okay, let me check with Autumn, because I also have from her, several things for, do you guys wanna come in a half hour early tomorrow before budget? I have, all those culvert documents too. So our intent on the culverts. I printed them out but don't have them.
Yeah, I could bring my car up to Conway tomorrow, after I get out of work, but I could get out of work, an hour early tomorrow, so,
Well, it's
yeah.
not, is it gonna take an hour to do this?
No, I said a half hour.
Half hour.
5:30?
Yeah.
So here at
I thought
5:30
the
tomorrow?
meeting was at 6:30.
No, 6.
Budget, 6 o'clock.
It's got moved back to 6 this year.
Time changes. All right.
Yeah, I can do it at
That,
5:30.
Mirror Lake, anything happening there? Mirror Lake Protective
No,
Association?
I have an appointment with Steve. He's gonna come in and help me fill out the application.
I thought we already applied for it. That $100,000 that
Right, but there's a separate,
they're borrowing it.
yeah,
From
but there's a
us and-
separate thing. I believe we're talking about the same thing,
Okay.
right? Because Steve has two things. Right, he had I think it's all the Mirror Lake.
All right. Okay, I'd love to get at least the 19 Mile Bay in before the end of the year. I mean,
Yes,
it's this year's revenue.
yes.
And when are we gonna meet with our solar people?
I don't know.
Yeah, am I gonna have to call them? Because the
Sure.
last time I got involved, they thought I was a nasty guy.
Maybe that's what I need. Maybe
Well, it's
I
because you
need
didn't
to
get a nap in that day.
Yeah, well, I hadn't get one today. All right, so I'll come in, I can't tomorrow because
Okay,
but I will come in this week and we'll call them. Because
all right.
we're spending $300,000, I don't want a faceless company.
I do have several emails through public input, and I think we should have rules of procedure for that meeting, the 16th. So, I'm gonna say if you hear it at like 6 PM, that gives us an hour and a half to do business before that. And, you know, how long can people talk if they've already put their comments in writing? Or I'm the one who set it up and it's for the state. I'm totally open to saying there isn't going to be
Public comment?
public comment. I can put together the,
Well, there's no sense, I mean, the whole idea of inviting them to come up and speak is so that they can speak. All we're doing is collecting opinions.
We're not gonna
Right.
vote on it?
And at the end of it, it's whether we make a recommendation to the state
to go move forward or not.
or not.
Right,
And frankly, you know, I have my own feelings, but I think the public has a lot to say in this. I don't think this is a decision that the three of us are gonna make ourselves.
no,
even
that's
though-
why we have the email for
Yeah,
public input.
absolutely. And I'm gonna rely on that, those opinions.
Okay.
But
And
you,
that's on a regular selectmen's meeting night? It's not a special occasion
No.
or anything? We don't have to wear hats?
No,
Okay.
so you wanna move forward with the public.
absolutely. It's
Okay.
already out there.
All right, so, I do think you should have a time limit.
Yep.
I agree.
Yep.
Okay,
I agree. We should have,
Alright.
we should keep this in order.
yeah,
I think we should give everybody, I mean, it's not gonna take people long to say, no,
Right.
but give them 2 minutes.
okay. So I thought I would have something,
Are you gonna write this up?
yeah,
Okay.
to hand out, so, okay.
Yeah, 2 minutes are when the chairman tells you to stop.
Okay.
Everyone has to be civil.
Yeah, and I think 99.9% of the people that come to this are gonna say no. That's what I think.
Why would you come to say yes?
Exactly.
I don't know.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay,
But this is the chance for them to speak and give their voice.
okay. Anything else?
No, I don't think we have any selectmen's updates because it was a very short week last week.
Mm.
Unless you do have anything that you want to add.
Everything in mine usually comes up during the meeting.
All right, yeah, no, it seems to work out that way, doesn't it? Any other business that we want to deal with tonight? All right, then I'm gonna make a motion to recess this meeting, until tomorrow night at 5:30.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
5:30 or 6?
You said you wanted us to come in early.
5:30.
You said you wanted us to come in a half an hour early.
Yeah, that's
That's
all you
right.
get.